4-3-2. Chicago Blackhawks. Dallas hammered the Oilers 5-0 on Wednesday. Dallas loses in Chicago 3-2 today. Winnipeg doubles up Minnesota by a score of 4-2. San Jose 3-2 over St. Louis in overtime. Maple Leafs a 4-2 victory over the Montreal Canadiens. New Jersey built up a 3-0 lead and held on for a 4-3 win over Ottawa. The Columbus Blue Jackets got 6 goals by defensemen, and they beat the Philadelphia Flyers. The final score 6-2. The Islanders up 2-0 over Nashville. That's now a final. That's gone final. The Islanders have defeated the Nashville Predators. And later tonight, Vancouver and LA, game that the Oilers will be watching. Keeping an eye on, of course, the Oilers and the Calgary Flames. Stay tuned following the game for the Alberta Blue Cross Insurance goal of the game. Whatever life brings, we've got the coverage you need. Visit ab.bluecross.ca. 9 minutes to face off. This is Rogers Game Night on the Oilers Radio Network.
Until April 20th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to 25% off select tires, including Goodyear. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I forgot to mention the bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. I knew 15 seconds wasn't long enough.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Become a Win House volunteer today. With your help, Win House can create positive change and support those affected by gender-based violence. Whether you're helping in office, at an event, or in the community, your support makes all the difference. Join Win House in building a safer, stronger community. Visit winhouse.org today to learn more about volunteer opportunities and how you can get involved. Win House, serving the community for over 55 years.
Until April 20th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to 25% off select tires, including Goodyear. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I forgot to mention the bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. I knew 15 seconds wasn't long enough.
You're listening to Rogers Game Night on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHAN, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
We mentioned the Islanders game against Nashville. John Shannon just tweeting out that the New York Islanders in that game blocked 34 shots. Nashville had 92 shot attempts and got shut out 2-0. All right, let's bring aboard our Inside the Game analyst, Rob Brown. This is Rogers Game Night, courtesy of Rogers, Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network. Rob, the Battle of Alberta. I'm a little nervous about this one, Rob. It's been a third game in 4 days for the Oilers. They had a somewhat embarrassing performance against Dallas, responded with a great victory last night, clinched a playoff berth against the Colorado Avalanche in convincing fashion, 6-2, and now they get the Battle of Alberta tonight. And this might be the last important game the Calgary Flames play this year. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not nervous. The Oilers are a professional team. They understand the importance of the 2 points here. This is a Calgary team that is lacking a lot of talent through trades and through injuries right now. It's a game that the Oilers should win and should win handily. Now, the emotional factor of being in a Calgary-Edmonton game, the Flames will be up for it. They want to spoil the Oilers' party for just one night. But, I'm not worried. I think this Oiler team, they've seen a couple times in the last few weeks, a game in Dallas, a game in Toronto, when they come out and play a sloppy hockey game, what teams are capable of doing against them. So I think they've had some lessons learned, and I think they know where their game needs to be. So I don't think they're going to have the same intensity or emotion as they would have had against the Avs yesterday, but I do believe there'll be a professionalism about their game.
All right, let's go to the Ford. Keys to the game. They are brought to you by Ford, the official partner of the Edmonton Oilers, built Ford proud.
Well, the coaching staff is, by the way he's deployed the lineup, was very happy with the way his team played yesterday, and he's got the same guys out there. So if you're in the lineup tonight on the same line you played it with last night, that means he likes what you're doing, continue doing it. So the Oilers like their depth players. Fantastic game for the third line last night. To me, tonight, that Connor and Leon and their line mates, I believe they're going to have a big game, but I like to see consistency through lines 2, 3, and 4. And the big one for me, line 2, the Nugent-Hopkins line, I thought was quiet last night. Yep. I expect them to be a little louder today.
There you go. That's our Inside the Game analyst, Rob Brown. Rob Brown will join Reed Wilkins during the end of the roll, first and second intermissions. Rob will join me post-game as well. Jack Michaels is ready to go. He's stoked. He's pumped. It doesn't get any better than the Battle of Alberta. well, with the exception of Edmonton and Colorado. But anyhow, it is the Battle of Alberta. The Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames live at Scotiabank Saddledome. Jack's up next on 48ers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Can drinking a little less alcohol give you the energy you want?
6 a.m. workout? You're on.
The sleep you need?
No more tossing and turning.
And the glow you're after?
I look and feel better.
Moderation. It's worth it. Be inspired at drinksinsab.ca. A message from AGLC.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a deal from Legacy. Oh yeah, save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Situated in the heart of Ice District, Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun. A building like no other in a location like no other. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
Can drinking a little less alcohol give you the energy you want?
6 a.m. workout? You're on.
The sleep you need?
No more tossing and turning.
And the glow you're after?
I look and feel better.
Moderation. It's worth it. Be inspired at drinksinsab.ca. A message from AGLC.
We welcome you back live to the Saddle Dome. Jack Michaels alongside Bob Stauffer, and let's get a look at tonight's Coventry starting lineup, brought to you by our friends at Coventry Homes. Flexibility within reach. Get back in the game with customizable designs from Coventry, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers. It'll be Calvin Pickard looking for his first ever win against the Calgary Flames tonight in net. He's 11-6 with a save percentage of .911 on the year. He was saddled with a loss on Wednesday in Dallas. Played much better than the 27 saves on 32 shots would suggest. Cody Ceci coming off a 2 assist plus 4 game pair with Darnell Nurse. Ryan McLeod in the middle with Corey Perry and Evander Kane. Those three hooked up for 4 points. Now let's go ringside with our national anthem. Here's George Canyon.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, a true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for
Now, tonight's exclusive NHL broadcast.
There he shoots and scores. Now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores.
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes.
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
Ready to roll from the Saddle Dome in Calgary, where Edmonton looks to follow up one of its most complete performances of the season with the final Battle of Alberta and a chance to once again clinch the season series against their provincial rival Calgary Flames, playing out the string with 7 losses in their last 8 games, 34, 36, and 5 overall. Edmonton 46, 24, and 5, and very much still alive for a division title. 5 points back with a game in hand plus a head-to-head, and Vancouver's in LA tonight. No easy task. Ryan McLeod set to take the opening draw of the game against Connor Zary, who was a healthy scratch in Calgary's 5-2 loss to Winnipeg on Thursday, and we're underway with Zary controlling the opening faceoff, and the beleaguered Jacob Markstrom, who struggled lately. 4 losses in his last 5 games, and remember, he's dropped 7 in a row against Edmonton. Plays it up the ice. Dryden Hunt, right side for Zary. A backhander off the post to start the game for Calgary 20 seconds in. Flames wearing those 3rd jerseys, the black outlined with red and yellow white numerals. Here's Dryden Hunt, centering pass, wrist shot, missed short side. Trying to bury it with Jonathan Huberdeau. In on the forecheck against Cody Ceci, and it's a slow start for Edmonton early. The Oilers in the white outlined in orange and blue. Corey Perry able to regain control of the puck, and left to right, it's McLeod to Ceci and on to Evander Kane, who got blasted from behind by the captain, Michael Backlund. Ahead to Yegor Sharangovich, a wrist shot, and that's elevated up and out of play by Matthias Ekholm, who had a goal and an assist and a game-changing hit on Mikko Rantanen last night in the 6-2 pulverization of Colorado. But Bob, one night later, Calgary a quick start.
They're going, and look, this might be their Stanley Cup this year, Jack. They're out of it.
It's the last meaningful game they'll play.
Right. Fans are engaged from the get-go, and the Oilers are going to have to match the work rate here against Calgary.
McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman remain intact. Chris Knobloch not changing anything from last night's lineup, minus the goaltender. A shot redirected wide of Calvin Pickard, who's 0-4 lifetime against the Flames. Markstrom mentioned 7 straight losses against the Oilers. Here's Draisaitl bringing it down the right-hand side. He'll give it up for Zach Hyman. Back behind the net, Draisaitl looking for McDavid. That was picked off. Blake Coleman with a chance to clear, and he does. Both Coleman and Sharangovich having career years for Calgary. Andrew Mangiapane unable to go tonight for the Flames, and the healthy scratches for the Oilers, as was the case last night. Stetcher on defense, Carrick up front. Here's Hyman rolling in from the right-hand side. Draisaitl's a return pass to McDavid is off the mark and sails down the ice. By the way, Kucherov had 3 assists in Tampa's loss to Pittsburgh today, so the scoring race right now, Kucherov 136, McKinnon 131, McDavid 128. Shot in by Adam Henrique. You heard Rob Brown talk about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Fogle, and Henrique. Can they get untracked tonight? A drive by Kulak, and that sails wide, came off the boards, and that'll be cleared by Nazem Kadri up to Andrei Kuzmenko, who's finally starting to get going after a sophomore slump in the NHL. Kadri will give it back to Kuzmenko, who was acquired in that Lindholm deal. Dishes a shot from the point by Bahal, and that's blocked by Kulak and reset by Vinny Desharnais. He scoots away from Pospisil, who leveled Josh Morrissey, got a 5-minute elbowing major the other night, was not suspended, and now a puck deflects out of play, 2.5 in. Calgary and Edmonton no score. Pospisil getting a reputation early in his NHL career.
He's a big hitter. He doesn't fight. He got dropped by the late Colby Cave early in his AHL career, and I believe he's had some concussion issues. Doesn't like to hit, but he skates through guys when he hits them.
Well, he likes to hit. He doesn't like to fight.
Right.
And I mean, honestly,
if you're going to hit
today's NHL, there's not a lot of guys who are liking to fight.
Right, but the bottom line is, if you're going to hit like that, you're going to have to drop the flippers sometimes.
Yes. Well, I know back in the day, used to say that a little bit about Marcus Niemelainen in terms of learning to protect himself. Sent in deep, left-hand side, it's Kevin Rooney. Well-traveled vet for the Flames. Up the right-hand side, Connor Brown dumps it in, and a one-bouncer fielded flawlessly by Markstrom, clear to the corner. Nurse over to Ceci, right point shot, save Markstrom, and he'll freeze it 3 minutes in as the Oilers with their first sustained attack against the Calgary net. And, of course, Jacob Markstrom has had a good year. Bob will tell you, and I don't quite know what this means, but he has the second most goals saved above expected this year in the NHL. He's 23-20-2, but he's been hidden from the Edmonton Oilers, who've beaten Calgary 8 out of 10. The two losses, both against Dan Vladar.
Yeah.
Markstrom's only start this year against Edmonton was in the Heritage Classic, and he gave up 5.
And he's dropped off a bit here of late, Jack.
Yes. Well, and the Flames have basically packed it in. They've dropped 7 of 8.
Not tonight, though.
5-3 against Winnipeg, 5-2 against Anaheim earlier this week. Here's McDavid off the rush to Draisaitl, left wing. His shot was deflected harmlessly out of play. 3 1/4 gone by in the first period. And I think what you're alluding to, Bob, is I'm sure Ryan Huska, the first-year head coach of the Flames, challenged his team to play with pride tonight.
Yeah.
Final Battle of Alberta, final meaningful game at home.
They got a chance to even the season series at 2-2. And the Oilers, you just wonder how much emotion was spent in a terrific performance last night against the Avalanche.
Off the draw to the right of Markstrom. It's cleared up the middle. Bouchard with a turnover. Backlund scampers in. A wrist shot, and that's held by Pickard. Backlund, there was some thought he might miss tonight's game. Huska felt the captain would give it a go, and indeed, he is on the ice. And Bob, I think as long as you and I have been working together, Michael Backlund, game in, game out, has been the most consistent performer against the Oilers.
No question. I mean, 2 years ago, we thought Lindholm was their best player on that line with Kachuk and Goodrow because of his two-way performance, but being insulated by Backlund helped, and he's been a terrific player for this organization for a long time.
Off the draw, chipped up the right-hand side. The McLeod line back out there, and Ryan McLeod with a beautiful outlet to Darnell Nurse. Left wing, he tried to look for Evander Kane. It was taken away. Huberdeau powers his way in, shooting and centering at the last moment. He tried to find Zary, and that went off the mark. Huberdeau has had yet another tough year. In fact, right now he is the worst plus-minus rating in the history of the Calgary Flames franchise. -27 this year. Just hasn't done much in either year. He's got 11 goals this year. This was a guy who had 115 points his last year in Florida. A shot from the point as Edmonton enters the zone, taken by Ceci. A save made by Markstrom, and now Kane lands a left jab on Rasmus Anderson and tries to engage, and Anderson doesn't want any part on that. Of course, Rasmus Anderson, the last time I can remember him in a meaningful engagement with an Edmonton Oiler, he was getting thumped by Darnell Nurse at the Penticton Young Stars tournament about a decade ago.
And he started it.
That, against Nurse, yes.
Yes.
I don't think he was looking to get Evander Kane riled up. It's interesting how Kane finally gets one to go for him late second period last night against Colorado, and it was the dagger. And wouldn't you know it, the next shot he throws up there also finds its way in, and that's exactly what Chris Knobloch said before the game.
Yeah, 100%. But they, that line put pucks on the net, and they were rewarded 3 separate times.
And you and I felt they were coming.
Yes.
They were due. And it's been a good combination. Nugent Hopkins now in between Henrique and Fogle. Nugent Hopkins historically very solid against Calgary. Loses a face-off to Nazem Kadri. Speaking of solid and head-to-head competition, Kadri always seems to see his best for the Oilers. Pospisil in from the left-hand side. His shot winds up in the corner and kept alive by Miramonov. And now a clear by the Oilers that'll be handled by Mackenzie Weegar. Plays the left side even though he's a right-handed defenseman. Kadri to Pospisil down low, and eventually it's Kadri out to Miramonov. His wrist shot wide of Calvin Pickard, and the rebound taken by Nugent Hopkins. The Oilers left to right. Hitting the Calgary line is Warren Fogle. Gives it up a little behind Vinny Desharnais, taken away by Kuzmenko. Pospisil tried to guide that one in. Kuzmenko had to follow it up. Pospisil went offside, so the Flames had to back off. At center ice, Dennis Gilbert, who's playing his first game in a month, handles from the back end for Calgary. He's a little like Michael Stone a few years ago, plays very infrequently, and now a broken stick. Quickly, the Flames able to change that out as it's Draisaitl up to Zach Hyman. He of the 52 goals sends it into the corner. That's going to be taken by Pahal. At center ice, Michael Backlund right to left over the line. Coleman a shot, and a save made by goaltender Calvin Pickard. 5.5 gone by first period. What's the first thing you think of when you see Blake Coleman at this end of the ice? Bob, that was certainly a turning point in Game 5, and both you and I felt like Edmonton might have caught a break.
Yeah, there's no question. In fact, I remember driving back to Edmonton that night because we weren't on the charter for that round of the playoffs, and listening to NHL radio, they were saying even the Edmonton guys thought it was a good goal for Calgary.
And in that case, you and I were the Edmonton guys off the draw. Here's Gilbert. Down low to Matt Coronado. Tried to go short side. Oilers looking at a 4-game homestand after this Battle of Alberta. As Ekholm clears up the right wing boards. Looking for Janmark. That was broken up. Gilbert shovels it ahead. Matt Coronado right wing backing off against Evan Bouchard. Will swing it down low. A.J. Greer. Look for the interior pass. It wasn't there. Kevin Rooney back behind the net. Challenged by Bouchard, taken against the boards, and Bouchard able to rake that free. He showed some bite last night in the game against Colorado that got a little nasty. An Edmonton 6-2 win. Here's Janmark. Checked off the puck. Rooney will nudge it free for Gilbert. Backhands it through the middle, and that'll turn into an icing call against the Flames as the whistle goes with 13:51 gone by in our scoreless first period. Bob and I live from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast location over top of the scoreboard as we make our way across. Bob always gets a kick out of the fact that my pace seems to slow significantly as I go across the catwalk.
You amble pretty much everything you do. You don't really have
I don't move with alacrity.
You do not move with alacrity. I never knew what that word meant until you came aboard on our broadcast team 15 years ago.
Draisaitl able to win the face-off. CC high slot. Here's McDavid right circle. Tried to center. That one off the skate of Kevin Rooney, and he's able to lug it to center. So fourth line for Calgary, first line for Edmonton. A.J. Greer dumps it in. Rooney tries to do work against Nurse and is elbowed off the puck. Blake Coleman is on as Calgary is able to get a change, and then whiffing on it is Miramonov, and that's an offside whistled against the Flames. Shandor Alfonso and Kyle Murchison are our linesmen. Frederick Lequier and Michael Markovic are the referees tonight. And now, armed with that information, I can send us to break. We're live at the Saddle Dome. No score. 6 1/2 gone by. 3 shots aside. It's the final Battle of Alberta for 23-24, and it's right here with Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Edmonton Oilers fans, visit Ice District Authentics locations at Rogers Place and receive a free Levelwear hat with a minimum spend of $75 on any Levelwear product. Shop men's, women's, and youth apparel and headwear to take advantage of this amazing offer while quantities last.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
Edmonton Oilers fans, visit Ice District Authentics locations at Rogers Place and receive a free Levelwear hat with a minimum spend of $75 on any Levelwear product. Shop men's, women's, and youth apparel and headwear to take advantage of this amazing offer while quantities last.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Slow start for both clubs tonight, Edmonton, Calgary. The Oilers on the second of a back-to-back, as we talked about, arrived at their hotel rooms around 1 in the morning and with the 8 o'clock start. So it's a short flight. Still, it's an accumulation, 4 and 6 for Edmonton. The Oilers then will take 3 days off, and Bob mysteriously then play 6 and 9 to finish out the regular campaign.
You just wonder if maybe there's some reinforcements on the way.
Well, I think by the tone of your voice, you don't have to wonder. You can anticipate that reinforcements will be in the way. Here's a shoot in by Matthias Ekholm and a dart sent the other way by the Flames' Michael Backlund. Ekholm this time finding Draisaitl at center ice. He's in to the zone with Hyman and McDavid. It's whirled around the boards for Bouchard across to Ekholm. Down low to Draisaitl. Ekholm 15 points in his last 10. A handoff to McDavid, left circle. Spinning against Sharon Govich, trying to dish, and that's going to be picked off, and maybe a 2-on-1. Coleman and Backlund. Backlund tried to give it back to Sharon Govich. One pass too many, and then Draisaitl powers through to create a 3-on-2. Drop past Zach Hyman, wrist shot, and that might have kissed the glove of Markstrom on its way out of play, as Zach Hyman was bidding for that top right corner. Markstrom, I believe, got a piece, and we remain scoreless with 12:20 to play in this first period at the Saddle Dome.
Jack.
Oh, did that go off his head? Helmet.
Yeah.
Got him in the helmet, not the glove. Right off the old noggin.
But none of the directness that Edmonton started the game with against Colorado, where they're pumping pucks on the net. They scored 5 of their 6 goals by creating traffic and creating chaos by putting pucks on the goal.
Oliver Shillington, one of just 4 Calgary skaters in the lineup from that Game 5, 2022, where the Oilers won in overtime to finish off the Flames in the playoffs. Dryden Hunt up the right-hand side. Jonathan Huberdeau tried to swing it in front, and that scooted out near the blue line, held in by Shillington. Anderson, another centering pass broken up. The Oilers doing well to close off that lane. Shillington, another shot blocked away by Corey Perry, who tipped in a goal last night after being checked to the ice surface moments prior. Perry trying to peel that puck out of danger. Huberdeau with a wrist shot short side. Pickard there to make the save. Rebound in front. Hunt a backhander, and Nurse went belly down to get a piece of that, and then Zary had a shot blocked. So a flurry in front of the Edmonton net. Huberdeau centering pass, and Shillington whiffed. That was a good pass from Huberdeau. Had a lot on it. Another centering pass stolen, and Evander Kane with a smart play able to wedge it back to center. Anderson to Huberdeau, and that play well offside as Dryden Hunt, who's now on his 6th team in his 7-year NHL career, was offside.
We got a penalty on Corey Perry here. He got the stick in on Rasmus Anderson after the whistle.
Time 8:44. And Perry will head to the box. It's going to be a slash officially, and Calgary go to the power play. Now, the Flames in this recent stretch where they've lost 7 of 8, their power play has been good, but their penalty kill has been atrocious. So as a result, despite 7 power play goals in their last 6 games, Calgary has been able to win only 1 of them. It'll be Kadri against Derek Ryan, who really had a strong game last night against Colorado after being injected in the lineup. Ryan and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins start on the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill with Desharnais and Ekholm. Face-off win by Kadri. Here's Mackenzie Weegar. Sharon Govich. Side of the net, centering pass, and that glanced off Weegar. Can't get a shot away, and here comes Ekholm shorthanded. Matthias Ekholm tried to center, and Derek Ryan was there, and Sharon Govich might have saved a breakaway. Ryan smartly able to pick it off, but then a pass well behind Nugent-Hopkins. Chance for 2 partial breaks there, Bob, and the Oilers couldn't complete the pass. Nugent-Hopkins wins the battle, keeps it alive. Excellent work on the PK. Now off to Janmark, and Janmark smartly just plays keep away. Swings it over to Ceci, and finally it snapped into the Calgary net. And that was just a clinic right there on the PK by Ryan and Nugent-Hopkins and Ceci, and ultimately the Calgary power play now just a minute 10. Kadri stood up by Connor Brown at the blue line, and that's forced back, and that first unit for the Flames did absolutely nothing. Markstrom will give it up to Mackenzie Weegar under token pressure from Brown, who's now out there with Fogle, Nurse, and Ceci. Connor Zary brings it through the neutral zone. Dishes off to Backlund left wing. Cross-ice pass behind Miramonov. He fell down. Short-handed breakaway. Warren Fogle across the blue line. Wrist shot. No! He pushed it wide. He had Markstrom down and out. And the Oilers fail to convert another chance. Backlund to Blake Coleman. Tried to dish off. Miramonov, who just blew a wheel, will throw it around the board. Zary gets it back from Rasmus Anderson. Down low to Backlund coming off the goal line. Nurse watching him. Anderson, one-timer. Miramonov off the post. Pickard somehow able to keep it out of the net. and ultimately pulls it into his midsection. 9:34 to play in the first period. Still no score, and 19 seconds left on the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill.
A great opportunity for Fogle, and he made the right move, but didn't have the delicate touch in tight.
Looking for his 18th goal of the year, Warren Fogle. Each goal he scores extends his career high. Off the face-off, Anderson gets it back from Miramonov. Snap shot blocked away by Desharnais, then poked by Pickard. He's active with a blocker and now cleared by Matthias Ekholm, and that'll do it for the Calgary power play. That was an adventure-filled power play at both ends, Bob.
Net chances.
Pickard's seen a couple of pucks draw iron. Of course, the Oilers hit 3 posts earlier this week in the 5-0 loss to Dallas, and that was before the game got out of hand. Rooney had it punch free. In fact, Edmonton has hit, I believe, 76 posts now.
You did your homework for this.
Yeah,
one.
they're top 5 in the league. Draisaitl. Of course, there's also a correlation there. They're also a top 5 offensive team in the league. Here's Zach Hyman. Kicks it back to Ekholm. So it's not necessarily a sign of overly bad look. It's just percentages. Pahal did not get it out. Ekholm got it from Hyman, then gave it back to him. Hyman tried to swing it in front, broken up, and it's Coronado with a clear to A.J. Greer. And now a steal from behind by McDavid. Draisaitl down the middle. Hyman's got a breakaway. Backhander, no. Rebound thrown in front. And Kuzmenko is there to clear a backhander up the left-hand boards. And the Oilers have missed out on 2 clean breaks.
Shoot the puck. Quit going for the deeps.
Here's Desharnais up to Draisaitl. He's driven to the ice. And it's backhanded back behind the net where Adam Henrique is waiting. In the offensive zone, he's got it on the left half boards. Cross ice, missed Desharnais. He's trying to sneak back door. Desharnais' only NHL goal came in the Heritage Classic, and he really didn't get to celebrate it because most people, including yours truly, thought it was Evander Kane's goal. Desharnais back behind his own net, up the left-hand side. We're going to have an interference call.
Wow, that's a tough call against the Oilers. Brett Kulak.
And he'll go to the box at 12:17 of this first period. The Flames will be back on the power play. The Oilers' special teams not nearly as good away from home as they are at Rogers Place. They'll be put to the test when we come back to the Saddle Dome. 7:43 to play in the first period. Calgary, Edmonton, nothing but zeros on the board. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Every time the Oilers play, you win. Because for $4.95, you can grab a KFC Big Crunch sandwich every Oilers game day. That's right. For only $4.95, you can bite into a KFC sandwich filled with a crispy seasoned chicken breast and topped with lettuce and mayo anytime the Oilers hit the ice. KFC, it's finger-licking good. Offer only redeemable in restaurant at participating KFC locations. Other conditions may apply.
Sobeys and Safeway Liquor is your #1 stop to get game day ready. For a limited time, on game days only, Oilers fans can come by a Sobeys or Safeway liquor store and get stocked up with a 15-pack of Molson Canadian or Coors Light, now $26.99 each. Available only at select Sobeys and Safeway liquor stores in the Edmonton area. Must be 18 plus. See in store for details. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud fans and partners of the Edmonton Oilers.
It's game on at City Ford.
For a limited time, get amazing 0% financing on brand new Ford F-150s and find 0.99% financing on brand new Ford Bronco Sports.
Or choose to save up to $6,500 on the 2024 Ford Edge and drive now, pay later.
Plus, spin and win a TV, Dyson vacuum, an iPad, or a trip to Vegas with your purchase.
Visit City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
We're live with a face-off to take place to the right of Calvin Pickard. Oilers have taken a couple penalties here in the last few minutes. They had a shorthanded breakaway opportunity. Fogle failed to finish. Then 5-on-5 moments later, Zach Hyman missed out. Nazem Kadri against Derek Ryan in the face-off circle. Ryan wins another draw, pounded up the boards. Uyghur knocked it down. Kadri top of the circle. Uyghur wrist shot, and that never reached Calvin Pickard. It was blocked and cleared by Cody Ceci, who's out there with Nurse on the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. 7 1/2 to play here in the first period. Flames 6 shots on net, the Oilers 5. Plus 2 missed nets on breakaways. Huberdeau moves it to Uyghur. Slap shot, save Pickard, and heavy interference from Kadri. If that puck had wound up in the net, that would have been an easy no-goal call. Nurse will smack it toward Markstrom, and the Oilers get it down the ice. Minute 20 left on the power play. Kadri accidentally on purpose crashing into Calvin Pickard. But that's why he's effective, Bob. Not afraid to go there.
He's a greasy player. Had a terrific year 2 years ago with Colorado.
He's still had a good year this year in Calgary. 24 goals, 65 points, Bob. He's
bounced back,
Yeah, point per game for the last 3 months. But here the Flames, an errant pass up the right-hand side. It turns into an icing call. And the Oilers halfway through this penalty kill.
2 pretty ticky-tack calls in this game, Jack, for me, against the Oilers. I mean, you call Perry for a play after the whistle, little love tap, and then Kulak barely angled a guy out.
McLeod off the face-off, pressure on Sharangovich. He's now out there with Fogle, Ekholm, and Desharnais. Flames on the puck. Miramonov with a drop-off. Moving to his left, Sharangovich dishes off. Coronado tried to drag move and then was stripped. Product of Harvard University. Coronado played in the Heritage Classic, then went down to the minors for a couple months. Back up. Ekholm, hard rim, and that got out of play off a hop off the stanchion. 6:20 to go, first period. And as per usual, Bob, a festive atmosphere here at the Saddle Dome,
awesome,
where there's almost as much orange and blue as there are red.
Well, they're probably wearing the colors tonight.
It's not a sea of red in this building when the Oilers are in town.
No.
Ryan against Backlund. They call it a sea of red here at the Saddle Dome. Little play on words using the capital C of Calgary. Off the face-off, hammered by Anderson, and a save made by Calvin Pickard.
Derek Ryan thought he got picked off that draw there. Clean win.
Ryan again against Michael Backlund,
who's by far their best face-off man.
And Derek Ryan, another clean face-off win. This one launched down the ice by Cody Ceci. Derek Ryan, these last 2 games, Bob, is looking like a guy who's saying, you know what, when we start the playoffs, I'm going to make it impossible for you not to play me. Flames through the neutral zone. Backlund tried to drop it off. That's intercepted by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He'll take his time, weave his way through center, and then fire it to the right of Markstrom. And the Flames' power play ends without further incident. So Calgary's 0 for 2 has not taken advantage of the Edmonton penalties. And now walking in is Coronado 5-on-5. Kulak onto the ice. Coronado deep in the corner, tracked by Matthias Ekholm. Right now the Oilers have 3 defensemen on the ice, plus McDavid and Draisaitl. Ekholm up the left-hand side. Draisaitl just out of the reach of McDavid. Miramonov, almost a nightmare scenario for him. McDavid pestering up the right-hand side. The Flames able to advance the puck back to the red line. Ekholm over to McDavid, right wing. Drop pass, pounded on net. Bouchard, and that just went wide. It went through Markstrom and trickled wide. Another shot, Bouchard. This one, and a chop down on Blake Coleman. That's going to be a penalty. A.J. Greer, right circle, wrist shot, another post. The Flames hit another post. Pickard got a piece with a glove, ended up glancing on the outside of the post. And Bob, that was more of an obvious penalty than the prior 2. And the Flames, for the 3rd time in this opening period, will be on the man advantage. 5 minutes to go. No score in the hockey game. Calgary, Edmonton, final battle of Alberta this season at the Saddle Dome. And we will take time out and be back with a Calgary power play. Oilers, Flames, for Edmonton, it's game 76. This is 4 Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Become a Win House volunteer today. With your help, Win House can create positive change and support those affected by gender-based violence. Whether you're helping in office, at an event, or in the community, your support makes all the difference. Join Win House in building a safer, stronger community. Visit winhouse.org today to learn more about volunteer opportunities and how you can get involved. Win House, serving the community for over 55 years.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit rogers.com/5G. That's rogers.com/5G.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Bob, I believe we've taken 3 breaks in the Spirit after 3 Edmonton penalties. Keep running the same rerun over and over. Yeah. Another Flames power play. Oilers have held the Flames without a goal.
They've done their job here to manage this game, haven't they?
The officials you're referring to?
That last
one was obvious.
That's the penalty.
Yeah. Kadri will line up against Derek Ryan, who's been strong again in the circle thus far tonight, and now Ryan's going to get chased out, replaced by Nugent Hopkins on his weak side. Nurse and Cece round out the Napa Auto Parts penalty-killing unit. Tie up off the draw. Nugent Hopkins digging in against Kadri. Finally, Huberdeau tried to flash it back to the point. Derek Ryan picked it off, and here comes Nugent Hopkins. Left wing with Weegar back. A wrist shot fought off by Markstrom, and a rebound taken by Weegar.
Thought there could have been a penalty and interference on Ryan on the zone entry.
Nazem Kadri to Huberdeau. Loose puck, and now a clear by Nugent Hopkins. And once again, the Flames forced into full retreat. 4.5 to go in the first period. Calgary's had 3 power plays, and yet the shots are even at 8 apiece. Huberdeau back to Yegor Sharangovich, looking for Kadri. Poke checked away by Matthias Janmark, and then Sharangovich set a pick, and this one's going to be called. And that was a lack of just foot movement. I mean, Weegar and Sharangovich drifted back, pressure created by Brown, and because he was a little lazy getting back, Sharangovich forced to take the interference call. That's an unforced error.
Good work by Connor Brown, though.
Yeah, but indicative of the Flames maybe playing out the string a little bit. Yeah. Edmonton's still playing for something, and Sharangovich needed to pick up the pace there. Now we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for 1:19. 4 1/4 remaining first period. No score in the hockey game. McLeod, Henrique, Ekholm, and Kulak out there. Face off to Jacob Markstrom's right-hand side. One cleanly by McLeod. Spinning is Ekholm. And how demoralizing would it be if Edmonton's able to bang one in here for Calgary, having gone 0 for 3 on the power play. McLeod to Ekholm. Guiding it back to McLeod in the middle of the ice. Loading up, shooting, and that was tipped just wide by Henrique. Ekholm to McLeod. Had 2 assists last night in the pasting of the Avalanche. And set a screen on the game's opening goal. Here's McLeod. Beautiful look for Ekholm. Cross ice. Kulak back to Ekholm, and he whipped on a one-timer that should have been in the net. Just healed it wide. And maybe, Bob, all he needed to do was just get the stick in position.
He just needed to guide it.
Yeah.
Oilers are going to go on a power play here in about 30 seconds, so they're going to get McDavid and Leon on the ice here.
Connor Zary skates quickly away from McDavid. Draisaitl trying to hunt down Weegar, who locates Huberdeau against Darnell Nurse. Hands off Weegar. Shot, save, Pickard, rebound. Huberdeau tried to curl it in front. Kadri couldn't control. Crossed over. Braden Pahal picked up on waivers from Vegas. Huberdeau back to Weegar. Waiting, dishing. One-timer ripped wide Rebound, Pahal ended up down low. McDavid tried to hit Bouchard for the home run. Markstrom's going to negate that with a clear back to center. Now the Oilers on the power play. It's brought to you by ATCO, your trusted Alberta energy retailer. Here's McDavid dishing off Nugent-Hopkins, left circle. Curled it back to Bouchard. On to Draisaitl, 15 on the power play. Draisaitl's got 19 power play goals this year. McDavid, Draisaitl loading up. Bouchard one-timer, and that hit his own man Hyman and cleared. And now Markstrom blasted Hyman. Here's Bouchard up through center. There was some motioning from the officials. No penalty called, though. McDavid walks in. A shot steered aside by Markstrom. Calgary back to full strength. Ekholm a drive from the left point. And then again, Hyman wound up into Markstrom. And I think the official is saying, hey, Shillington threw Hyman into Markstrom. Shillington dishing off Sharon Govich. Trying to squeeze through two Edmonton defenders. Couldn't get around Zach Hyman. And now Adam Henrique with 1:45 to go. Right in front of his own bench. Taken away by Kadri, who in turn coughed it up to Bouchard. Lifted ahead for Corey Perry. He'll track it down to Henrique. Shot it off the side of the net. That's grabbed and cleared by Miramonov. And now you've got Nazem Kadri. Miramonov picked up in the Noah Hannafin deal. So the Flames have two ex-Vegas Golden Knight defensemen in the lineup tonight. Perry a steal, onto Evander Kane, left to right. Here come the Oilers. Kane dishes off. Perry was drilled by Miramonov, then turned over, and now we've got a penalty. Kuzmenko gave it away and chopped Perry down, and the Oilers will have a chance to take the lead here in the final 1:05 of the first period, as they'll be awarded their first full power play of the night, brought to you by ATCO Energy.
Well, the Flames' best face-off man by quite a bit was Elias Lindholm. And they have dropped as a result of him being traded to Vancouver to 19th in the league at 49.6. The Oilers are 5th at 50.
They're good. They're 53%.
Yep.
Bob, I would say this is the strongest Edmonton
Ever.
face-off club that we've had been privy to last 15 years.
How many 30-year-olds plays a factor? It's a acquired
man strength.
Draisaitl.
Digs in.
And experience, right? That's the other part.
I saw you sizing up Phil Heath, by the way. I think you might have bit more than you could chew. Draisaitl wins the face-off. McDavid to Bouchard. Nugent-Hopkins back to Bouchard. Top of the circles. Oilers looking to break the scoreless tie. Bouchard. McDavid.
Shoot it.
Bouchard. McDavid, right face-off dot. Shot wide by Draisaitl. Hyman tried to bank it in off Markstrom. Still sitting side of the net. Another centering pass to Draisaitl from McDavid. Draisaitl sitting on 39 goals this year. Bouchard. Nugent-Hopkins fires wide. Rebound McDavid, who scored twice last night against Colorado. McDavid to Draisaitl. Half minute to go in the period. Calgary's just trying to get out of here in a scoreless tie right now. McDavid loading up. Tried to go back to Draisaitl. That was broken up. Bouchard with 20 seconds. McDavid. Poke checked away by Kevin Rooney. Nugent-Hopkins. High slot. Draisaitl one-timer score. And there's 40. Leon Draisaitl. Wow. Powers it through a tiny sliver behind Jacob Markstrom, and that's the fourth time he's hit 40 goals in his career, making 20 on the power play, and Edmonton takes a 1-0 lead.
That was an absolute BB by Leon Draisaitl right from his kill zone, and that's his 20th power play goal of the season as well. Rocketed it home.
1944, time of the power play goal. 40 for Draisaitl, teed up, and then he just hammered it home. And Markstrom, I mean, it's not much you can do there. There's, what? Barely a crack. I mean, you and I couldn't even see what he was shooting at, and he still was able to find the corner. One last center ice face-off, flip down the ice, and the Oilers will take a 1-0 lead into the dressing room as Edmonton able to take the 1-0 lead on the power play goal by Leon Draisaitl. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins served it up And Bob, despite there not being much room, when you're the shooter of Draisaitl's caliber, and again, he may be the best backhand passer in the league, but he can shoot it as well. In fact, he joins McDavid and Glenn Anderson as 4-time 40-goal scorer.
And desperation throughout the lineup. Just a thought about clinching the spot, but not wanting to lose any momentum coming off a strong performance last night.
Yeah, I mean, things that you just said, that's what it takes to win this time of year, down the stretch of the regular season and for sure into the playoffs. So you can't just turn it on once the playoffs roll around. We're talking about playing the right way, and obviously the game changes a little bit when you get to the postseason, so we have to be ready for that.
Appreciate it, Derek. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
That's Derek Ryan. Again, a guy that helped kill off 3 Calgary power plays, and then as Bob and I were talking about how demoralizing would it be for the Flames, who basically, helped by the fact that they had 3 power plays, but 5-on-5 they were fine, and yet they trudged into the dressing room once again behind.
Jack, the Oilers missed 3 glorious opportunities.
True. And they didn't make Markstrom make a save there, and that's, I know, what troubles you.
Like
go ahead and make him make a save.
Fogel on a breakaway misses the net. Hyman
missed the net.
It was a 2-on-0. Yeah. He had McDavid with him.
Right.
And then
I don't think he made the wrong play.
No.
Yeah.
But Ekholm, and the only thing I'd say is what we've noticed is when Edmonton had success against Calgary, and they've had some success, as you know, against Jacob Markstrom. What's that number again?
7 straight against Markstrom. He's played to a save percentage of .861 in that stretch. Actually, that goes back 2 games because, of course, the 2 wins he had against Edmonton prior to the 7-game losing streak, he gave up 11 goals in those 2 wins.
So, I mean, and my thing with that is they just shot the puck at him. It's not like he's a bigger, rangier man. He's really athletic, and you're playing to his advantage if you deke. I'm saying,
and let's be honest. That was a perfect shot that beat him. That's not on Markstrom.
No, that's over the last 2 years. Or last 5 years. That's the second highest scoring player in the league.
Right.
Doing that. So, anyhow, decent period, all things considered for Edmonton. Some missed opportunities. They're loose. Calgary's loose. They are loose defensively, and they should be. Look at where their defense was at the start of the year in the Heritage Classic. Yeah. They had
Noah Hanifin and Chris Tanev.
And Nikita Zadorov.
Right.
They've replaced those guys with basically rookies in depth.
Even
NHL.
Shillington hasn't played in a year,
right.
So he's in his first 30 games back.
You're going to get some opportunities against this group. Bottom line, you nailed it. Penalty killing did a good job in the first. Power play breaks through. You're up 1-0, and we'll carry through into 2 here.
Draisaitl is 40th from Nugent Hopkins and McDavid, and Edmonton breaks an 0-for-12 skid on the power play with a clutch goal on the road. It's been interesting. It's been a huge gap this year. The Oilers power play 35% at home, 19% on the road. Well, they break through at the Saddledome to give Edmonton a 1-0 lead at the break. Coming up at the break, we'll have more live coverage. Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown with their say. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, live from the Saddledome on the Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs.
to Pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
CHED Edmonton. Get your tech on and tell your smart speaker to play 630 CHED. Edmonton's news. Today's talk.
A Chorus Entertainment radio station.
It's our YEG with 630 CHED.
Explore a gripping reimagination of the night before civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King's assassination as the Citadel Theatre presents The Mountaintop on now through April 21st. Enter to win tickets at 630ched.com. Then gather up your family and friends and show your support for the Stollery Children's Hospital as the Teddy Bear Fun Fest returns to Rendell Park on May 11th for their 5-kilometer fun run, walk, roll fundraiser.
For details on these and more events, visit 630ched.com. At the intermission, brought to you by Hand of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Calgary's just trying to get out of here in a scoreless tie right now. McDavid loading up, trying to go back to Draisaitl. That was broken up. Bouchard with 20 seconds. McDavid poke checked away by Kevin Rooney. Nugent Hopkins, high slot. Draisaitl one-timer score. And there's 40. Leon Draisaitl. Wow. Powers it through a tiny sliver behind Jacob Markstrom, and that's the fourth time he's hit 40 goals in his career, making 20 on the power play, and Edmonton takes a 1-0 lead.
That was an absolute BB by Leon Draisaitl right from his kill zone, and that's his 20th power play goal of the season as well. Rocketed it home.
And that is the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winter zone. Draisaitl powering in his 40th of the season with 15 and a half seconds left in the first. 1-0 Edmonton after 1. So 5th time he's got to 40 or more. 50 in 18-19, 43 in 2019-20. Then he had 31 in 2021. Well, they only played 56 games. 55 2 years ago, 52 last year, and now up to 40 this year on a classic Draisaitl goal, Rob Brown.
It was, and it was just the only thing different than normal. It was Nugent Hopkins making the pass instead of Connor McDavid. He sets himself in a position that it's a quiet area. He's in the perfect passing lane. He's got a good shooting lane. He's forcing the goaltender Markstrom to come from one side to the other, and he puts the puck on net. And I think that's the biggest thing. He just doesn't miss the net often. And if he hits the net, it's going in. He had power on that one. Great shot, great setup, and an important goal for the Oilers. It was the Calgary Flames played well in that first 20 minutes. And there was a lot of emotion and intensity in that game because the Calgary Flames brought it out of the Oilers. They got them out there. Kane was involved. Perry. Hyman was involved. I thought that was a highly entertaining game between a team that's got Stanley Cup aspiration and a team that's in the last 10 or bottom 10 in the National Hockey League. It was a fun period to watch, and I think that goal was a big deflating goal for a Calgary Flame team. If they get out of the first 20, they're thinking, you know what, that was a great first 20. We probably could have had a couple other opportunities where we didn't finish. Yep. Instead, it's the power play again on a penalty that they shouldn't have taken, down low, and the Oilers power play that we've heard a lot of people think it's been struggling on the road. Why are they not shooting more often? Well, they had a shooter's mentality on that one, and Leon Draisaitl made no mistake.
And Rob, we've seen him score so many goals like that, but I just feel, and I know we can't know what Markstrom is thinking, but I feel like there have been so many goals like that over the years where you almost wonder if the goalie was thinking, oh, I thought I was there. Like I thought I was across quick enough. Because that one hits...
There wasn't much room.
Right.
Yes.
So it hits Markstrom's upper left arm. If it's maybe 3 more inches to Markstrom's left, it's right inside the post. 4 or 5 inches over, it's probably wide. So like the goalie's probably thinking, oh, okay, I got you, Leon, and it still gets.
Well, that's the great thing about incredibly skilled players and their execution is you can do everything right, as a defending team. The Flames did so many things right on that penalty kill. Their goaltender had great positioning, yet 2 good passes and a shot, and you're like, okay, seriously, what do we change? What do we do differently? Leon scores from angles that players aren't supposed to score from. And what he does, too, most players are probably about 5 feet higher up. If you're 5 feet higher up, the goaltender doesn't have to come as far across. So it's a tighter angle for Leon to shoot from, but it's a longer stride over for the goalie to get to. Most players don't shoot from there. Leon does, and Leon rarely misses. And a big goal for him, his 40th of the season, which is kind of nice. And the Edmonton Oilers have a nice 1-0 lead after 20.
We'll check out our talent scoreboard when we get back. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Staying at the JW Marriott Edmonton Ice District offers prime access to Rogers Place and the Ice District without needing to go outside. Offering welcoming modern luxury, the JW offers an elevated experience unrivaled in Alberta. Visit jwmarriottedmonton.com to book today.
Foreigner, live in Edmonton. Foreigner is back. The Farewell Canada Tour. You're as cold as ice. Friday, May 10th, Rogers Place. Foreigner, with special guest, Headpins. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.ca. Foreigner, the Farewell Canada Tour.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey. Ow!
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
Visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
Staying at the JW Marriott Edmonton Ice District offers prime access to Rogers Place and the Ice District without needing to go outside. Offering welcoming modern luxury, the JW offers an elevated experience unrivaled in Alberta. Visit jwmarriottedmonton.com to book today.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. Today marks 6 years since the deadly Humboldt Broncos bus collision in rural Saskatchewan, with tomorrow known as Green Shirt Day, supporting organ donation. Lethbridge's Logan Boulay, a defenseman with the team who was killed in the crash, ended up helping 6 other people by previously agreeing to donate his organs. It spurred the Logan Boulay effect, with 150,000 people signing up to be organ donors in the weeks after the collision. Sandra LaRose, whose daughter Kaylin died in 2018, says the teen had told her family she wanted to donate her organs, something that is usually encouraged after death at the hospital.
What the conversation that she had with us enabled me to do is to bypass that hard conversations that the doctors and nurses have to have.
Logan Boulay had registered as an organ donor on his 21st birthday, 5 weeks before he was killed in the bus crash. News on demand at 630ched.com.
Real Canadian Superstore is your one-stop shop. Check out their flyer for their PC Optimum offers, deals on club size and no-name items. Always low-priced everyday items. There are so many ways to save for real at the Real Canadian Superstore.
Live sky high with remarkable units for rent and for sale at Sky Signature Suites. Currently offering amazing incentives on 1- and 2-bedroom rentals, featuring designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. All of this and more within the heart of Ice District, Edmonton's best address for shopping, dining, entertainment, and fun. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
Real Canadian Superstore is your one-stop shop. Check out their flyer for their PC Optimo offers, deals on club size and no-name items. Always low-priced everyday items. There are so many ways to save for real at the Real Canadian Superstore.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Okay, let's check the out-of-town scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. It is the Kings with a 2-1 lead on the Canucks. That is after the first period. Billy Idol's at the game. They're interviewing him on TV right now. I considered not doing this so I could listen to the interview with a rebel yell. Here come the LA Kings. All right, so 2-1 for the Kings leading the Canucks. The Islanders shut out the Predators 2-0 today. Big win for them. Devils beat the Senators 4-3. Bit of a brouhaha at the end of that game. The Senators, the team that took a slap shot into an empty net, were upset that he slowly guided the puck into an empty net like a split second after the horn. Maple Leafs beat Montreal 4-2. Matthews had a goal in that game. Blue Jackets knock off the Flyers 6-2. Is Philly going to make it? Rob Brown is shaking his head no. The Sharks beat the Blues 3-2 in overtime, and a good Central Division showdown. The Jets beat the Wild 4-2. Penguins not going away. Crosby scoring. He's up to 40. And the Penguins beat the Lightning 5-4. They're looking now like a playoff team. Bruins beat the Panthers 3-2. That one decided in overtime. And Chicago handing Dallas a 3-2 loss. In the American Hockey League, the Oilers farm team trailing Calgary 2-1. The Condors lead it. The Condors lead it 2-1 after one. Dylan Holloway has his 8th in the AHL in that game. The Blue Jays with a late rally, but they come up short, losing 9-8 to the Yankees. And Gushu and Team Canada going to play for the World Men's Curling Championship as they beat Scotland 9-4 in the semi. Sweden tomorrow. Great team. They only lost the one round-robin game. They beat Canada during the round-robin, so that is for the Men's World Championship tomorrow. Draisaitl has his 40th. Oilers lead the Flames 1-0. Heading to the second period, here come Jack and Bob, for Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Edmonton Oilers fans, visit Ice District Authentics locations at Rogers Place and receive a free levelwear hat with a minimum spend of $75 on any levelwear product. Shop men's, women's, and youth apparel and headwear to take advantage of this amazing offer while quantities last.
Every time the Oilers play, you win. Because for $4.95, you can grab a KFC Big Crunch sandwich every Oilers game day. That's right. For only $4.95, you can bite into a KFC sandwich filled with a crispy seasoned chicken breast and topped with lettuce and mayo anytime the Oilers hit the ice. KFC, it's finger-licking good. Offer only redeemable in restaurant at participating KFC locations. Other conditions may apply.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Become a Win House volunteer today. With your help, Win House can create positive change and support those affected by gender-based violence. Whether you're helping in office, at an event, or in the community, your support makes all the difference. Join Win House in building a safer, stronger community. Visit winhouse.org today to learn more about volunteer opportunities and how you can get involved. Win House, serving the community for over 55 years.
Edmonton Oilers fans, visit Ice District Authentics locations at Rogers Place and receive a free levelwear hat with a minimum spend of $75 on any levelwear product. Shop men's, women's, and youth apparel and headwear to take advantage of this amazing offer while quantities last.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
1-0 hockey game in favor of Edmonton. They've now adjusted the shot totals to 9 aside. Not bad for the Oilers considering they had to kill off 2.5 Calgary power plays and then scored on their own in the final minute of the first period. Leon Draisaitl was 40th from Nugent Hopkins and McDavid. And Leon Draisaitl, with his 5th 40-goal campaign to go along with 5 100-point seasons, now joins a list of only 14 guys in the history of the league to do that. And that is not a list that Connor McDavid is, as of yet, on. McDavid along with Glenn Anderson, 4 40-goal seasons in an Oiler uniform. Here's Dryden Hunt off the center ice draw, wrist shot, and then up near the left clavicle of Calvin Pickard, rifled up the left wing side for Corey Perry. He finds Nurse, and his drive also up near the collarbone, and Markstrom able to pull that in and make the save and keep it just a 1-0 game. Face-off coming to Markstrom's right, and we've seen a lot of that in this game, Bob, where the team's more than willing to trade chances end to end.
Well, that was a high riser, and then Corey Perry got the stick up on Markstrom after. Don't think that the Flames were particularly enthused with that. I'd like to see, it's clear there's some rhythm with McLeod with the speed he has and the transport abilities with Kane and Perry. I'd like to see a little bit more juice, Jack, out of Nugent Hopkins, Henrique, and Fogle.
Well, as Rob Brown talked about, that was the one line that was a little quiet last night. In Edmonton's 6-2 victory over the Colorado Avalanche. A clear now by Pahal off the draw. Pospisil off the rush. A shot from the left circle, guided aside by Calvin Pickard, who's been rock solid tonight as per usual at the Saddle Dome. Fogle could not handle a pass from Kulak and ends up drawing himself offside. He missed a breakaway chance, and Bob, it called to mind a breakaway he finished not too long ago where he went 5-hole. But as you said, Edmonton at times in that first period tried to deke rather than shoot it. Nugent Hopkins able to win the face-off neutral zone.
They could easily have 3 goals in this game.
Kulak up the right-hand side. Fogle will drop it off. Now, in fairness, Calgary's hit a couple of goalposts in this game. Kadri up to Pospisil. He'll dump it in from center ice. Bouncing puck. That'll be corralled down low and then turned over promptly by Fogle. But Edmonton's Adam Henrique there to bail him out, and now Fogle on the move with Nugent Hopkins side by side. Fogle a shot. That was stymied. Now he centered it, and Henrique could not finish as Markstrom able to spear it out of midair. That one went off Henrique's stick more than he really shot it, and Markstrom able to cover.
Well, that time Fogle paid the price to make the play as Uyghur filled him in on the hit, but he got a short side center and a tap in and attempt for, it was a bang-bang play for Henrique. Henrique will tell you probably should have made more out of that.
McDavid digging in against Michael Backlund. And a face-off win for the Edmonton captain. Shoveled down low. Uyghur was so occupied with Hyman, didn't know the puck was sitting there, and Hyman unable to take advantage of that with a return offering to Matthias Ekholm, who was not located where Hyman thought he would be. So the Oilers have to regroup. They'll send it in deep. Hyman's able to negate any sort of icing, and it's flashed toward the middle by Draisaitl, only to be picked off by Uyghur. In over the line, Blake Coleman had his pocket picked by Draisaitl. Uyghur held the zone and then forced down low. Uyghur, a top 15 scoring defenseman this year, and second in terms of goals with 19. Career year for Uyghur as well. Shillington to Yegor Shorengovich. His drive in front. 2 saves by Pickard on Michael Backlund. Forehand and backhand. Miramonov shot and another stick save made by Calvin Pickard, who, remember, is looking to get off the schneid against Calgary's 0-4 lifetime. Oilers guilty of an icing call. Meanwhile, Connor McDavid took a spill in front of the Calgary bench. I didn't quite see how that transpired.
Coleman interfered with him. Got away with it. But think of that sequence. Edmonton had puck possession in the O-zone, and there was a malfunction at the junction behind the goal between Hyman and Draisaitl. Puck got wrapped around, and Ekholm had moved to the midpoint instead of on the left wall, and then the Oilers ended up in duress, and now they get a line change for Calgary, and this line's been out here for a while for the Edmonton.
How about Calvin Pickard, Bob? Here comes Zach Hyman in over the line. Draisaitl in the Calgary zone. He'll spin it down low. Shillington unable to clear, and now it floats through the middle. I mean, he's gone from a guy that was going to play almost certainly the entire season into the American Hockey League to one of the top number 2 goalies in the entire league.
It's crazy.
Nurse, a shot, and that's snared by Markstrom. And I think you join me as we bring the action to a halt, and we'll have a face-off in the Calgary zone with 2:45 gone by in the second period. I think you join me in echoing my sentiments that it could not happen to a better guy I mean, he's a great presence, not only in the room, but on the ice. The old knockoff, if he's so good in the room, leave him in the room. Well, his play on the ice has dictated that Stuart Skinner has gotten a little more rest than perhaps we might have anticipated 3 months ago.
And Calvin's put himself in a position where he's going to get a one-way deal next year.
Face-off win for Kevin Rooney. And he's earned it. Dennis Gilbert up the middle. Coronado brought back the other way by Janmark, and that's going to be chipped in by Connor Brown. Fourth line goes to work. Janmark, Ryan, and Brown. Flames able to break the puck out. Coronado left to right. Pahal tried to dish off, and that's going to turn into a giveaway and a 2-on-1. Derek Ryan, left circle to the net. Sliding Gilbert, still loose, poked in front, and Connor Brown finishes. Set up by Janmark, and Edmonton's fourth line extends the lead to 2-0. That's Brown's fourth of the year.
Well, think of all the pucks that didn't go in for Connor Brown in the first 45-plus games. And that time, just a lucky bounce.
Well, Janmark kept it alive now.
And these guys, all three of these guys are desperate to stay in this Oilers lineup, Jack.
Time of the goal, 3:13. Brown from Janmark.
Probably Ryan.
Probably Ryan. We'll see what they call in terms of possession for A.J. Greer, who's frustrated.
Yeah.
He felt like he could have made a play on that puck. But for now, it's a 2-0 Edmonton lead. Gilbert walks it to the Edmonton blue line and dumps it in. Brett Kulak on the puck for the Oilers. Ryan McLeod gliding in, a stick bothering, and he shot it wide. Vinny Desharnais, there was some shrapnel on the ice. McLeod back on the puck, shovels it down low. It again hits that broken stick, and that disrupts the cycle, and Dryden Hunt took it away from Brett Kulak. Heading the other way, a red shot, a save made by Calvin Pickard, who keeps the game at 2-0, and we're going to have a penalty.
Kane's going to go off for a slash on Dryden Hunt, who dropped his glove, sold it.
Then again, Bob, you don't need to make that play.
Well, that's twice Edmonton slashed Flames players after the whistle.
You don't need to do that.
Markovich is having an animated comment.
I'm not saying it was a huge slash, but why give him an excuse, right?
Yep. So now your PKer's got to come on the ice for the fourth time already in this game. 23 minutes into a hockey game.
Derek Ryan, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Darnell Nurse, Cody Ceci. Connor Brown's fourth of the year from Janmark at 3:13, and we suspect Derek Ryan will get a second assist. Now he's out there on the PK. Brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
346.
Uyghur down low. Centering pass. One-timer score. Yegor Sharangovich. And the Flames are back in the game. Sharangovich, 30 goals on the season. The first player from Belarus ever to hit that mark.
Well, that was a bomb. They won that trade, Jack. And that time the Oilers lost the draw. And they whipped it around pretty good and hammered one home. That was an absolute BB.
From the top of the left circle, no chance for Pickard. Top right corner. And as Bob mentioned, just a missile.
Ryan did pick up a second assist on the goal.
As he should have. But, you know, we've seen some weird calls about possession that didn't look like much possession. So that's why I was waiting to put it down. Fourth line scores 5-on-5, and that's now the difference in the game. Connor Brown, the 2-0 goal. It's now 2-1. Sharangovich on the power play.
His 30th of the year, scored by number 17, Yegor Sharangovich.
Meanwhile, attacking zone in from the right-hand side. Sarian with the assist for Calgary. By the way, on the Sharangovich goal, now he dishes off. Miramonov steps in, right circle shot, pinballed wide. Coleman tried to bank it home, could not get it to go. Uyghur takes over, top of the left circle. Sent it across to Coleman, and then the active stick of Zach Hyman forces Miramonov back to center. Miramonov through the neutral zone, soft chip, forcing Pickard to play the puck up to Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl did not hit center. This could be icing, though they're going to say Kuzmenko tipped it. McDavid just got off the ice in time to avoid the too many men on the ice call. That was my partner's warning, and then Edmonton ends up taking an icing call with 5 1/4 gone by in this second period, and the Oilers still leading by a count of 2-1. Connor Brown's second period goal from Janmark and Ryan. The difference right now, as Calgary was able to come back 44 seconds later and score on the power play and one of those post-whistle slashes.
Can't do it, Jack. That's two. And you want those guys to play with bite. Can't do it.
Kadri able to win the face-off, back to the point. Rasmus Andersson put it down low. Right to left. Kulak at center. He'll flip it in. Markstrom out to handle this one. The 14-year pro, one-time second-round pick of the Florida Panthers. Then nearly a decade in Vancouver before coming over to Calgary. So he's seen a lot of the Oilers. Lifetime save percentage 900 against Edmonton. That has not been the case lately. Draisaitl fell down as Calgary hit the line. Miramonov to Backlund down low. Waiting. Protecting Sharon Govich, clubbed on net, save on Miramonov, and then whacked wide on the rebound by Coleman, who, like Sharon Govich, is looking for his 30th goal of the season, having a career year at 29. Miramonov threw it across. Weegar up the left-hand side, picked off by Bouchard. Nifty play by Hyman to Draisaitl left circle, back in front. Hyman denied. Point blank. Markstrom's best save of the night. McDavid finished his check, ricocheted, and eventually poked out. Good play by Miramonov, and Ekholm will shoot it right back in. I thought that was Markstrom's best stop of the night. What a setup from Draisaitl to Hyman. Now Adam Henrique with Fogle. Could not find him. Weegar will golf it out of the zone. Rolling puck collected by Zary at center. Nugent Hopkins looking to disrupt and ultimately comes up with possession in his own zone. Flicked it over to Darnell Nurse. Immediately reversed up the right-hand side, but Huberdeau was there. So it's turned over. Huberdeau to Zary. Off the boards, Rasmus Andersson shot. That whistled high and wide. Rebound Chillington. Fogle tapped it back toward the blue line, held in by Zary. Calgary looking for the equalizer. Zary circling, waiting. 3 assists against Edmonton this year. A drive from the point by Anderson and an off-balance Pickard able to make the save. Oilers clear to center. Now Fogle challenging Shillington. Poke checked away. Huberdeau up to Dryden Hunt. Nugent Hopkins on him. And now Nurse will take a hooking call. It's going to be a penalty, I believe, against Nurse unless they're going to say holding the stick. Yeah, they're going to say holding the stick on Hunt. Boy, that's, in my mind, the way that play developed, that's either a no call or just leave it alone. I didn't like the hook on Nurse. I'm not sure I love the holding the stick on Dryden Hunt. Pahal can't get a touch on the puck. Gilbert will, and finally, this play is whistled down. Dryden Hunt called for holding the stick. Time 9:16, and the Edmonton Oilers will be back on the power play where they're 1 of 2 tonight. They scored late in the first period to take the lead. Hunt is saying, come on. And you know what, Bob? I mean, we've had 7 power plays in this game, and were it a different night, we could easily have maybe 1.
And therein lies.
2-1 our score. We'll take a break. Oilers on the power play, looking to extend their lead back to a deuce. We're live at the Saddle Dome. It's the Battle of Alberta, final edition of this season. Edmonton leads by a goal. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
NHL action is heating up with an ultra-cool game day experience at the Canadian Ice House. Pre-game with us for great food and drink with an amazing wall of sight and sound. Hands down the most TVs to catch all the hits, the goals, and the game day glory. Enjoy $1 off tankards of Coors Light and Molson Canadian every Oilers game day where NHL hockey lives at the Canadian Ice House.
It takes some courage to get out there and travel. You never know if your bags might mysteriously vanish, or if that guacamole is going to come back to haunt you, or if the plane just never takes off in the first place. But through it all, you have a partner in Alberta Blue Cross. Our travel insurance lets you take the security of home with you, wherever you go. Whatever life brings, be ready for it. Find travel insurance today at ab.bluecross.ca.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Oilers looking to cash in. Atco power play. Draisaitl with McDavid and Hyman stacked in the slot. Nugent Hopkins hugging the left half boards. And Evan Bouchard at the point. Oilers 2, Flames 1. Draisaitl wins the draw. Nugent Hopkins to Bouchard. The Atco power play scored late in the first. Now midway through the second. Looking to extend the lead to 3-1. McDavid left circle. Set up Draisaitl's 40 at the steal by Backlund. And a soft chip up to Kevin Rooney. Did not get it in, however. And Draisaitl able to carry the play back into the offensive zone. Spun himself into a turnover, though. He's frustrated with himself as Mackenzie Weegar sends it down the ice.
Checks the twig, does Leon.
Draisaitl picked up his 500th career assist last night and his 40th goal tonight. Been a productive weekend. McDavid looking to make it a 2-0 weekend for the Oilers. A clear up the boards, not out. Nugent Hopkins to Bouchard. Across the Leon Draisaitl right circle. Coming out of the corner, McDavid. Bouchard feathered it across. Nugent Hopkins. Dishes, open McDavid. Bouchard, one-timer save, rebounded. Did that catch Hyman? Hyman is down.
Yeah.
And Edmonton has been very fortunate. 17 of the 18 skaters in the lineup tonight have played at least 60 games. It's been mostly an injury-free type of year, but Hyman is down, writhing in pain. Now, you hope it's one of those stingers where the puck just catches him.
Missed the net on
in an awkward spot, yes. But Bouchard does shoot at 100 miles an hour. And Hyman, Bob, I'm hopeful that this is just one of those stingers where kind of the nerve endings are frayed there for a little bit and you're able to walk it off. Hyman, mostly under his own power, will go off here. Ooh. Inside of the right kneecap, maybe?
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to get hit.
By like.
Yeah. Or maybe the left kneecap.
It was the left one.
Yeah, sorry, left kneecap. But Bouchard shoots it so hard. No one in the league more 100-mile-an-hour heaters than Evan Bouchard this season. Draisaitl with Corey Perry now on the ice as the fifth skater on the power play. Nugent Hopkins gives it up for Bouchard. Spinning away from traffic. Bouchard double team down low, coughed it up. Blake Coleman shorthanded. Now, Calgary has 10 shorties this year, tied for fifth in the league, but they haven't scored a shorthanded goal since January the 11th. Here's McDavid in over the line. Draisaitl, top of the circle, put it back to Bouchard. Now McDavid loading up. Draisaitl snapped it over to Nugent Hopkins. Draisaitl again. McDavid coming out of the right corner. Bouchard. Power play at 10 seconds. Nugent Hopkins wiring. Save made. Rebound loose. Calgary a chance to clear. And Rasmus Anderson does exactly that.
That one hit Perry from Nugent Hopkins.
So, Darnell Nurse will reset for Edmonton and give it up to Cody Ceci with the teams now back 5-on-5. 8.5 to go. Kane skated right into traffic, turned it over. Nazem Kadri down the left-hand side. Nurse will try to reel him in. Over to Jonathan Huberdeau for the Calgary Flames. Puck nudged out in front. Kadri turned, couldn't get it off. Gilbert, one-timer off the post. That's 4 posts tonight for Calgary. So, again, you've had Fogle and Hyman failing to finish breakaways, but Calgary has clipped iron quite a bit. Evander Kane up the right-hand side, including 20 seconds into this game.
Yeah, look out.
Kadri, Huberdeau, Pospisil a shot, and Pickard able to make the save. His 20th of the night. Another shot in front, and that one from a sharp angle, and Pickard able to come up with it. 7:54 to go in the second period. Chances aplenty at both ends. Edmonton failed to convert a power play, and Calgary coming within an eyelash of going back level with Edmonton. But as it stands right now, the Oilers 2, the Flames 1. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and the Battle of Alberta from the Saddle Dome, the Oilers Radio Network.
Every time the Oilers play, you win. Because for $4.95, you can grab a KFC Big Crunch sandwich every Oilers game day. That's right. For only $4.95, you can bite into a KFC sandwich filled with a crispy seasoned chicken breast and topped with lettuce and mayo anytime the Oilers hit the ice. KFC, it's finger-licking good. Offer only redeemable in restaurant at participating KFC locations. Other conditions may apply.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Roll Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers lead at 2-1. Great news to pass along if you're an Edmonton partisan. Zach Hyman is okay. He was back on the ice giving it a twirl, and apparently, just as we perhaps suspected right from the get-go, a stinger. One off the inside of the kneecap. Going to hurt for sure, but he'll be okay. Wrist shot and a save made off the draw by Calvin Pickard against Connor Zarius. Calgary looks to tie this game up. Flames have outshot the Oilers tonight 21-14, including 12-5 in this period. Another shot from the point. Shillington did not make it through, and Adam Henrique able to clear. Right now on a line with Fogle and Derek Ryan. Flubbed by Shillington off the turnover. Fogle tried to put it to the middle, and that was destined for an interception by Rasmus Anderson. Put too much on it, and it's an icing call against the Calgary veteran from the back end. 7:12 to play, period 2. Oilers lead at 2-1. Draisaitl power play goal in the first. Connor Brown, the fourth line, connecting 3 minutes into the second. Sharon Govich, the answer less than a minute later, and that's where we sit. 2-1 Edmonton.
A little bit blending of some lines going on here.
McLeod between Janmark and Connor Brown. McLeod controlling off the face-off Janmark. Bouchard across Ekholm. Little give and go with McLeod. Flick back to Bouchard in the high slot. Backs off. His shot deflected out of play by Dryden Hunt. And now Bouchard's hurt. One of each, one player on each team as Hunt took that one. And I mean, he's going to stay in the game, but he didn't love how it felt. That was just a wrist shot. McDavid back on the ice with Draisaitl and Hyman, so it's official. Zach Hyman is just fine. Might wake up in a bit of pain tomorrow. Bouchard and Ekholm on the blue line. Face-off win for Backlund this time against Draisaitl. Hard up the wall and out. And another icing call whistled against the Flames.
They've won a lot of face-offs as well. And they were at about 58% first period, Calgary, and this isn't part of Edmonton's game. The Flames have been sharp, Jack.
Well, they played hard. But I don't know how sharp they've been. They've given up a couple of breakaways. I mean, we've seen chances at both ends. They're playing hard. I think what you're saying is they're playing hard, but their lineup dictates that at times their play is going to be ragged. Ekholm down low for Leon Draisaitl. Off the boards to Evan Bouchard. I mean, you said it yourself. Edmonton got 2 breakaways in about 25 seconds. Here's Weegar.
But this period, they've been good.
Oh, absolutely. Weegar backhands it up to Coleman. That's why that goal by the fourth line. Coleman short side, quick chance. And Sharon Govich put it wide. But it's always a huge lift when you get one like that. Weegar over to Miramonov. His shot deflected over the net by Sharon Govich. Draisaitl trying to power through, especially since you had some guys with pretty decent dry spells. Hook up for that goal. Draisaitl to McDavid. Breakaway gets it back from Hyman. And then the return passes off the mark. A 2-1-0. And Edmonton fails to capitalize. Weegar a shot. And a glove save off the rush made by Calvin Pickard at the other end. The Oilers have had 3 breakaways tonight and have not hit the net on any of them. That was a 2-on-0 with McDavid and Hyman, who've combined for 83 goals this season, and Calgary's able to duck its way out of it. 2-1 Edmonton, 5:46 to play second period. We're coming back with more live play-by-play from the Saddle Dome. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Can drinking a little less alcohol give you the energy you want?
6 a.m. workout? You're on.
The sleep you need?
No more tossing and turning.
And the glow you're after?
I look and feel better.
Moderation. It's worth it. Be inspired at drinksinceab.ca. A message from AGLC.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
Can drinking a little less alcohol give you the energy you want?
6 a.m. workout? You're on.
The sleep you need?
No more tossing and turning.
And the glow you're after?
I look and feel better.
Moderation. It's worth it. Be inspired at drinksinceab.ca. A message from AGLC.
All games, all
season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Live from the Saddle Dome, it's 2-1 Edmonton, 5:46 to play in the second period. The Oilers have been outshot handily in this period by a count of 16-5. But Connor Brown, his fourth goal, so timely in that kind of canceled out Sharon Govich's power play goal moments later. Face off to the right side of Calvin Pickard. And it cannot be understated how well Pickard's played tonight. Now, he's had a couple of pipes help him out, but still. Up the left-hand side. Similar storyline unfolded in Dallas on Wednesday night. Edmonton was on the short end of that one. Right now, the Oilers perhaps on the long end of this one, Bob. Pospisil felled by Ceci. Here's Nugent-Hopkins to Fogle. Up to Nugent-Hopkins. Poke checked. Nurse kept it alive. Threw it across to Fogle. Outside the right circle, he'll take it within the trapezoid. Kick it back to Nurse. Across to Ceci. Wrist shot. Kick save made. Markstrom rebound fired on net. And Fogle denied by the Calgary goaltender. Stumbling and falling. Godry did not get it out, but Pospisil did. Andrei Kuzmenko down the middle. He's been hot lately. Dishes off. Then back to the point. Pospisil waiting out Pickard and somehow tucked it wide. He had Pickard down and out and didn't finish the play. Anderson. Kuzmenko. Uyghur. Miramonov. That was an open net.
Yep.
High slot Kadri. Miramonov shot, and that floated high on a deflection. Chipped out to Uyghur. Waiting, moving it, Miramonov. Connor Zary. Kuzmenko fired a dart. Now a one-timer blasted save made by Uyghur. Loose puck. Henrique won a battle. Might have gotten away with a bit of slew foot on Zary. Uyghur. High slot. Shot. Edmonton under fire right now. Henrique can't get it out of the zone. A second chance against Huberdeau. Uyghur kept it alive left point. High slot Zary. Calgary still in search of the equalizer. Zary can't find a lane around Henrique. Edmonton on its heels. Miramonov. Uyghur waiting. Dishing. Huberdeau keeps it alive. This time, coming out of the corner is Dryden Hunt. Huberdeau waits, moves it, Uyghur. Middle of the ice, Hunt. One-timer blasted, save, Pickard. Rebound, Henrique. Hard rim. This will be icing against Edmonton. Oilers just needed a clear. They're exhausted with 3 1/4 to go in the second period. The Flames have done everything but tie this game.
I'd take a time out here if I'm Chris Knobloch. What are you waiting for? These guys need a rest.
You can't.
Yep.
Ice the puck.
I know.
Well, that's why you can't take a timeout.
I'm saying find a way. Somebody break a stick.
Oh, all right.
Right?
You mean some subterfuge?
Yes.
Okay.
Show some gamesmanship.
There you go. All right. Nugent-Hopkins. Just say it, Bob. Poked out. High slot. Shillington against Warren Fogle. He'll drop it off for Blake Coleman. Now Sharon Govich. Rasmus Anderson, Ceci in chase mode. Coleman across to Backlund, top of the right circle. Won't shoot it. Backlund down low, Sharon Govich. Off to Shillington, across to Anderson. Maybe Calgary's best chance to tie the game right here in this sequence. Edmonton has to be exhausted. Shillington healed it. Sharon Govich put it back door. And the Flames not shooting the puck here and paying for it as Backlund threw it around the boards and Nurse will muscle it but not out. Held in by Shillington. Good play. Backlund, the captain, squeezed off the puck and now Fogle will finally twirl it back to center. And Edmonton, the long change, will get it. Rasmus Anderson looks up ice to Backlund. Flames made a mistake there by not shooting the puck. Shoveled down low, Shillington taken out. And now Derek Ryan swats it up to Connor Brown. The fourth line makes sure of a clear. Here's Janmark charging in, heading for the net, circling and gliding. Miramonov tracking him, able to take the puck. Miramonov gets himself in a bit of trouble. Hunting him down is Connor Brown. Ultimately, Backlund able to tuck it through the middle of the ice. Kuzmenko reaching for it, and Vinny Desharnais undid that potential rush. Give and go with Kulak. Brett Kulak hitting Connor Brown. Of course, Kulak originally drafted and developed by the Flames. Kadri came over to take the puck from Connor Brown. Brown got back into the battle, set it up. Janmark denied. Point blank by Markstrom. As Brown created a chance. Pospisil up to Nazem Kadri, left wing. Could not get around Desharnais. And Ryan McLeod able to take over the puck with 1:20 to go in this second period. Icing against Edmonton. The shots 27-17 for the game. 18-8 in this period in favor of Calgary, but still a 2-1 lead for Edmonton.
What are you doing rolling over 4 lines? You haven't had Nugent, or you haven't had McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman on the ice for the last 4 minutes of game time. It's a 2-1 game here. They're coming on. They're getting momentum. And right now, the Oilers are on the verge of going the final 4.5 minutes of this period in a 1-goal game without having 2 of the world's best players on the ice. Surprised by that.
Is Chris Knobloch testing his team, Bob? Here's Evander Kane against Rasmus Andersson. Kane down to Corey Perry. Ryan McLeod centering pass and a shot disrupted. Here's Shillington. Bothered by Evander Kane. Backhanded off the side of the net. Dryden Hunt. Grabbed by Connor Zary. Right-hand side, Huberdeau. Less than a minute to go. Battled for, ultimately controlled by Bouchard. Loose puck side of the net. Bouchard attempting to clear. Eaten up by Hunt to the middle. Huberdeau could not get a shot away. Hunt, Miramonov a shot. That swept into the corner by Calvin Pickard, who has 27 saves tonight. He's been very good again. Ekholm turned it over. Nudge back in front. Pinballed around a second time. And then an extra swat. And now Huberdeau didn't like what Ekholm did. And you've got a wrestling match in front of Calvin Pickard. Uyghur down low, and so is Miramonov. The faceoff will come outside the zone because the Calgary D-man are engaged. Miramonov trying to wrap out Kane. Meanwhile, punches being fired
Kane's
over the linesman's
Kane's got Uyghur
shoulder. And it's starting to die down. Uyghur was throwing punches over the top at Evan Bouchard, and Kane got in there to protect. And there's still some pushing and shoving. Now Hunt and Kane end up staring one another down. And we'll see what comes out of this. My guess would be one each way with 12 seconds remaining in the second period. And Edmonton still clinging to a 2-1 lead. And you have to say it at this point. Clinging is the operative word.
They were totally outplayed, but who helps get you momentum back in games? You got a guy named Connor McDavid. Nobody else on the planet's got that player. Doesn't get on the ice for the final 4 minutes of 5-on-5 hockey. Surprised by that.
Now, are they just taking one out of the pile here?
No, it's going to be one each.
Huberdeau's going into the box.
And Ekholm probably.
Ekholm making his way over, and indeed, it looks like he'll join Huberdeau, and that'll cancel one another out. Power play for 2 minutes, and it is going to be an Edmonton power play because there's goaltender interference being called on Huberdeau.
So one of the things we've seen, Jack, when the Oilers don't have a lot of time left on a power play to end a period is, what's that word again? Alacrity? They don't waste any time. They move it to the net right away and create chances. So if they can get a face-off.
You think this might be a help?
I think this might be
the fact that just 12 seconds remain.
Right. Absolutely.
No reason to hesitate or look for the perfect play. The top unit is out there.
Even in the first period, at the end of the period, they got the power play. That got them a power play goal.
Got it with 1:05 to go. Now they only have 12 seconds. Draisaitl will take the face-off. Hyman and McDavid in the slot. And then you've got Bouchard poised at the top of the left circle. Nugent Hopkins on the half boards. Here's Backlund against Draisaitl. And Backlund able to win the face-off, ripped off the linesman, a break for the Oilers. Bouchard steps up, slapper redirected, and Draisaitl couldn't come up with it, tried to bank it off the side of the net, got it back in front, and tipped away at the horn. And the Oilers got a break there when the Flames' length of the ice clear hit an official. But they weren't able to capitalize, and they've got to settle for a 2-1 lead. Hyman and Markstrom having a rather friendly conversation. Of course, both drafted by the Florida Panthers 2 years apart. And Edmonton takes a 2-1 lead into the break. And again, they'll have an opportunity to extend that lead on the power play. And Bob, from what we've seen, at least in that second period, the Oilers would be wise to do so because 5-on-5, Calgary has been quite competitive tonight.
Calgary's outplayed Edmonton, and they dominated that second period. There is no other way to say it. 19-8. Now we'll see if the shots change here, Jack.
But the point is still well served, and it's also valid to bring up Calvin Pickard yet again.
Pickard's played good, but what I didn't like is the deployment in the final 4 minutes of the period. Like, you got to find a way when the game's in the balance like that to give them something else to think about. And
is there a reason why? Give me a reason why they might have gone that.
They're playing the second on the back-to-back. They're up in the game. He's rolling over 4 lines. I'm just going to say they blew a 2-on-0 with 4.5 minutes left in the period. That's the last time we saw that line on the ice, 5-on-5. The line of Nugent Hopkins, Henrique, and Fogle, they are struggling tonight. And Henrique and Nugent Hopkins are smart players, but Henrique is not an explosive skater at 34, and he looked gassed out there 3 times.
Well, he was caught out there for 2.5 minutes.
I know, but there were opportunities, and the one time he had a clear chance to hoist the puck.
You got to make the clear.
You're a 34-year-old vet. You got to make the play.
Vogel was the man who ultimately got it.
Edmonton's very lucky to be up in this game 2-1, Jack. In spite of the fact that they've missed 2 clean-cut breakaways in a 2-0, they're lucky they're up in this game because Calgary's had a lot of shots.
Well, they haven't hit the net on any 3 of those opportunities. Plus, they had Ekholm serving a wide open net. Served up a tap in, and he got a little excited.
It looks, you know what? I think, in fairness to the Oilers, we are watching a team that looks like they played 4 games in 6 days.
And we talked about that. And it's not just the second of a back-to-back. It's a 4 and 6.
They're looking a little tired.
And we're going to have to keep that in mind down the stretch, Bob, because the same thing is going to develop where they get the 3 days off, and then they're going to end up finishing with 6 and 9.
Let me ask you a question. You win an important game. You clinched last night. Do you reward the team for playing as well as they did by coming back to the same lineup? Or do you look at integrating somebody different in the lineup? Right? Like
Carrick and Stetcher, 2 guys you added at the deadline.
Right.
To further integrate them into the playing roster. It's a fair assessment, but I'm thinking what you kind of answered your own question. It was one of Edmonton's most complete 60-minute efforts all year. You got to come back with the same team.
Bottom line is they got to come back with a good power play to start third period, Jack.
And if they do, likely enough separation to get through this game and potentially draw within 3 points of the Pacific Division lead. At last report, Vancouver was trailing 4-1. And if you're sitting now 3 points out of the division lead with a game in hand and a head-to-head matchup, all of a sudden, it's almost even money as far as who wins that division title. Because remember, there's still no Thatcher Demko available in Vancouver. And the Oilers will see Vancouver a week from tonight. Bob and I will have that game. But that's a week away. What's up next is Rob Brown and Reed Wilkins with their thoughts on the second period as Edmonton takes a 2-1 lead into the final 20 minutes. The Oilers are 26-3-1 when they lead after 2. Calgary this year, 9 wins when trailing after 2 periods. That's second in the league, only to Colorado. So this one, far from over. 2-1 Edmonton in the Battle of Alberta. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 955, is one of Alberta's largest and most diverse union locals in the province. Members work in everything from construction and maintenance to pipelines, renewables, healthcare, education, municipalities, and more. They are a big part of Alberta's past and will be a big part of Alberta's future. Apprenticeship, jobs, pension. That's IUOE Local 955. Visit joinustoday.ca to learn more, and let's go Oilers.
CHED Edmonton.
Be a real-life influencer. Tell your friends, family, and coworkers what you heard on 630 CHED.
Edmonton's news. Today's talk.
A Chorus Entertainment radio station.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming a 630 CHED Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment.
Sign up now at 630ched.com.
And click on CHED Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
Where Edmonton stays informed and entertained.
Today and every day. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Mahal tried to dish off, and that's going to turn into a giveaway and a 2-on-1. Derek Ryan, left circle to the net. Sliding Gilbert, still loose, poked in front, and Connor Brown finishes. Set up by Yanmark, and Edmonton's fourth line extends the lead to 2-0. That's Brown's fourth of the year.
And that's your look into the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner's zone. Igor Sharangovich would score 44 seconds later for the Flames on a power play. It's 2-1 Edmonton in the lead after 2, though Calgary dominating large stretches of that period. Shots in the second, 19-8 for the Flames for the game, 28-17 for Calgary. So Pickard hanging in there, and the Oilers just doing enough to preserve a lead going to the third period. Few things to talk about, Rob. Let's start with the goal. And we double-checked in the last 11 games that he's played, Connor Brown now has 4 goals.
He's one of the hottest Oilers we got. Again, depth scoring. Last game, there was 3 goals from the third line. Tonight, it's a fourth line goal with Ryan on the 2-on-1. Makes a nice, hard, strong move to the net, and Connor Brown just following up. Good on him. If the Oilers want to have a long run in the playoffs, they need contributions down the lineup, the third and fourth line players. And Connor Brown, I don't think he's playing as to what a lot of people had hoped for when they got him this summer, think he's going to be on Connor McDavid's right wing. But I think he's giving the Edmonton Oilers good depth minutes now. He's on the penalty kill, doing a good job there. He's now contributing in a positive way offensively on the fourth line. So maybe that's what he is to the Edmonton Oilers, a fourth line right winger. But now you're getting contributions out of him. That was a nice play, nice goal, and an important goal, obviously, for the Oilers, because that's the one that has them ahead right now here going into the third.
And then nervous moments for Oil Country as on the power play, Bouchard's shot gets deflected, hits Hyman on the inside of the right foot.
Well, I've taken shots in the foot. I've had broken feet. I've had surgery on feet. It hurts. And I've never, ever blocked a shot as hard as Evan Bouchard's. I think that all fans of the Edmonton Oilers held their breath for about 4 minutes until they saw Zach Hyman come back to the bench. The one fortunate thing for Zach Hyman is it wasn't a direct hit. It brushed off a Calgary Flame player before it hit him. He will feel more pain tonight. Right now, that skate is staying done up in the dressing room. As soon as you undo it, then there'll be some swelling, and then you can't get the skate back on. Fortunately for the Oilers, they got some days off to get the swelling out of it. But yeah, Evan Bouchard shoots hard, and Zach Hyman very fortunate to escape without any kind of serious injury on that one.
And then Hyman and McDavid have a 2-on-0, and they do not get a shot on goal.
Well, you got the world's greatest and the world's best goal scorer going on a 2-on-0. I think a lot of people had already marked that one down as a sure thing, and they don't get a shot on net. The Oilers have had 2 breakaways and a 2-on-0 without a shot on net.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That was probably 2 players being a little unselfish, too unselfish. Markstrom actually had gotten across. Hyman would have had to make a really good shot to score it. He kind of flubbed it a little bit. The Oilers have been the second best team in this game. Having said all that, they've had more than ample opportunities to have 3 or 4 on the board. They are lucky right now to be going into the third period only down 1. That was... Last night, the Edmonton Oilers took advantage of a very, very tired Colorado Avalanche team. Tonight in that second period, it looked like the Calgary Flames took advantage of a very, very tired Edmonton Oiler team as the Oilers struggled to get out of their own zone. And that Calgary Flame team looked like a team that was sitting safely in a playoff spot. That's how well they played that period.
Yeah, 3.5+ minutes on the shift for Henrique Fogel, who was just visibly bent over, not even hiding the fact he was exhausted. Nugent Hopkins, Nurse, and Cece before they finally, they iced it, and then I think everybody except Nurse changed, and then finally Nurse got off the ice. So, yeah, it hasn't been a great game for the Oilers, but the one guy who didn't play last night, Pickard, has been solid, and I think the Flames have hit a couple posts and probably shot wide on a couple they wanted to. But it's been a fairly wide open game. I mean, there's been a little bit of nastiness too, but it hasn't been a thoroughly checked game, I would say.
Well, normally teams that are out of the playoffs, the last 10 games of the season, they're playing very loose. The commitment and the dedication to defense isn't always there. They're trying plays they probably wouldn't normally try, and they're free. There's no fear. For a team that's fighting for playoff points, there's the fear of making a mistake. There's no fear of making mistakes for the Calgary Flames right now. Very unfortunate right now to be down a goal. What's his name? Pospisil. He had the best. He walked around. The Oilers went in, walked around the goaltender, had the whole open net, unable to score. The Oilers fortunate to be where they are. Yet the Oilers' power play has a chance to extend a lead to start the period. And if they do that, that might be too much for the Flames to overcome. So the Edmonton Oilers' power play, which we've seen at times on the road, fail to extend leads, have a big opportunity here on fresh ice and a very well-rested crew to get it done.
All right, 2-1 Oilers leading the Flames after 40 minutes. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Become a Win House volunteer today. With your help, Win House can create positive change and support those affected by gender-based violence. Whether you're helping in office, at an event, or in the community, your support makes all the difference. Join Win House in building a safer, stronger community. Visit winhouse.org today to learn more about volunteer opportunities and how you can get involved. Win House, serving the community for over 55 years.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Ow!
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
Visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. A 55-year-old Edmonton man ended up dying at the scene out near the airport late last night after a 3-vehicle collision. Leduc RCMP say it took place with the vehicles heading east over Highway 2 on the Airport Road overpass approaching Sparrow Drive. The man had been alone driving a small SUV. Everyone else in the other 2 vehicles suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The cause of the incident remains under investigation, with road conditions, weather, and impairment being ruled out as factors. And the United Nations is calling the 6-month mark of Israel's war with Hamas a terrible milestone. In a statement, UN humanitarian chief Martin Griffiths says the prospect of further escalation in Gaza is unconscionable. This comes as the Israeli military confirmed today that it had recovered the body of a 47-year-old hostage in Gaza who is believed to have been killed in January while in captivity. Negotiators are preparing for another round of talks tomorrow on brokering a ceasefire in Gaza and securing the release of the remaining hostages. News on demand at 630ched.com.
Real Canadian Superstore is your one-stop shop. Check out their flyer for their PC Optimo offers, deals on club size and no-name items. Always low-priced everyday items. There are so many ways to save for real at the Real Canadian Superstore.
Foreigner, live in Edmonton. Foreigner is back. The Farewell Canada Tour. You're as cold as ice. Friday, May 10th, Rogers Place. Foreigner, with special guest, Headpins. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.ca. Foreigner, the Farewell Canada Tour.
Over the last decade, the world of work has changed dramatically. It's a change that can cause a disconnect between a company and its employees. But a partnership with Aon can help by making decisions that create a more flexible, engaged, and resilient workforce. Aon's experience and expertise, global understanding, and advanced analytics ensure that every client is better informed and better advised so that they can make better decisions. Whatever the next decade brings, Aon is in the business of better decisions.
Real Canadian Superstore is your one-stop shop. Check out their flyer for their PC Optimo offers, deals on club size and no-name items. Always low-priced everyday items. There are so many ways to save for real at the Real Canadian Superstore.
The intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Dylan Holloway has scored twice. The Bakersfield Condors leading Calgary 3-1 after 2 in the American Hockey League as we update the scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Third period, Kings up 4-1 on the Canucks. Islanders outshoot the Predators, or outscore the Predators 2-0 for a win there. Devils beat the Senators 4-3. Maple Leafs over the Habs 4-2. Jets beat the Wild 4-2. Sharks take down the Blues 3-2 in overtime. Blue Jackets pound the Flyers 6-2. Chicago wins 3-2 against Dallas. Bruins beat the Panthers 3-2 in overtime. Penguins into a playoff spot, 5-4 win over the Lightning. Oilers leading Calgary 2-1, heading to the third for Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Discover what Canada's largest hydrocarbon processing region means to your life in the Heartland. Stay up to date on industry projects, emergency response, sustainability, and more. Learn, connect, and fuel community engagement with us. Visit lifeintheheartland.com.
It takes some courage to get out there and travel. You never know if your bags might mysteriously vanish, or if that guacamole is going to come back to haunt you, or if the plane just never takes off in the first place. But through it all, you have a partner in Alberta Blue Cross. Our travel insurance lets you take the security of home with you, wherever you go. Whatever life brings, be ready for it. Find travel insurance today at ab.bluecross.ca.
Did you know the RCMP polices over 99% of Alberta's landscape? From the oil sands to the Rockies to the prairies, the RCMP has a province covered. Providing policing services to more than 1,700 communities and with over 150 career specializations, the Alberta RCMP has something to fit everyone's goals and lifestyles. Visit rcmpcareers.ca and take the next step towards your career with the Alberta RCMP. A message from the Government of Canada.
Want to better understand operations in Alberta's industrial heartland? Life in the Heartland provides community resources and education about the industry that fuels our region. Visit us at lifeintheheartland.com and subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed and up to date.
We bring you back live to the Saddle Dome. A quick word on the Edmonton Oilers 50-50. Right now, the jackpot, $130,000. We just started a new one in support of the Alzheimer's Society, increasing awareness of Alzheimer's and other dementias. Right now, the Edmonton Oilers on a power play to start this third period, leading 2-1. Draisaitl between Nugent Hopkins and Hyman, McDavid and Bouchard for now running the points. And for Calgary, a pivotal sequence in this game. Played so hard in the second period, outshot the Oilers 18-8, but had nothing to show for it. Sawed off by the fourth line goal by Connor Brown, which is the difference right now in the game. Flames able to come up with a draw and a clear by Michael Backlund, and now Leon Draisaitl through the neutral zone. Oilers in the white left to right. Calgary in its black third sweaters. Here's an opening for Leon Draisaitl down the right-hand side. McDavid coming out of the corner of the offensive zone. Bouchard up top. McDavid a shot, and that missed. Oiler power play Tonight, 1 for 3. Shot by Bouchard, and that was blocked. Rebound, Draisaitl tried to center. That's stolen and cleared by Kevin Rooney. Top unit remains out for now. Evan Bouchard under control for the Oilers. Dishing off to the on-rushing Connor McDavid. This has not been Edmonton's best game, but the Oilers have never trailed. Bouchard, left point, across to Draisaitl. Oilers have won 2 of 3 this year in the Battle of Alberta, 8 of 10 overall. Shot Nugent Hopkins, no. Kicked it back, Bouchard. One-timer Draisaitl that time. Markstrom able to get over and make the save about the same spot where Draisaitl buried his 40th of the year to give the Oilers the lead late in the first period. They've been ahead ever since. It remains 2-1 and the top unit called off.
Still a little too deselective for me, Jack. Think of how Edmonton put 47 shots on goal against Colorado. I realize the Avs are playing the second of a back-to-back. Calvin Pickard's got an ice issue right in front of his crease.
Yeah, just at the top of the blue paint there. Oilers on the second of a back-to-back this year, 4 and 3. And I mentioned the 8 wins in 10 meetings against Calgary. Dan Vladar was in net for both of those. And Shandor Alfonso really having to do some repair work.
Shandor Alfonso, Jack, as you know, played at which U Sports program that played against the Alberta Golden Bears in the 06 University Cup final at Rexall Place. And that was Pete Beliveau's Lakehead Thunderwolves.
And as they continue to attend to the ice in front of the Edmonton net, a look ahead at the homestand next week. 3 games in 4 nights, starting off with Vegas on Wednesday. Now the Golden Knights will be in Monday against Vancouver, and they'll be trying to shake off a disappointing loss. They had been on a bit of a heater, I think 6-0-1 in the previous 7, but gave up 6 goals in the third period.
You just don't expect that to happen in Vegas.
Well, not a Bruce Cassidy coach club ever.
Like that's, they play a passive zone D better than anybody else. Now, we were driving as that comeback was happening last night on our way to the airport, so I didn't get a chance to see it yet. But that's surprising. Look out.
Right into the Calgary bench. Anderson off a face-off win, had all night to clear and just powered it into his own bench. That's a huge break for the second unit. And now, because of the delay in resurfacing the ice, Chris Knobloch will get the top unit back out. So,
hey, good news.
Anderson might have really made a massive mistake.
Good news down on the farm, Jack. Dylan Holloway has a hat trick tonight for Bakersfield. They're up 4-1 on Calgary.
And I expect he will be one of the reinforcements you alluded to during the earlier portion of this broadcast. Calgary able to win another face-off and chase the first unit back into its own zone. 20 seconds left on the Atco power play. Edmonton leading by a count of 2-1. Leon Draisaitl to Connor McDavid, knocked off his stick and ripped down the ice by Rooney. And that should pretty much do it for the power play. Backlund's token pressure forces Pickard to hold on to it for a shade longer than he wanted to. Bouchard will move it back to McDavid, but now coming out of the box is Matt Coronado. McDavid tried to center. That was deflected. Coming up with it is Dennis Gilbert. On to Coronado. Off balance, put it into the feet of Nazem Kadri, and that will translate into an offside whistled against Calgary.
That was an ugly, disjointed power play for Edmonton. What did you say? They were 0 for 12 before getting the...
Correct.
So they're 0 for 11 coming into this game. 1 for their last 15 on the power play. 1 for 4 tonight. You'd expect more from Edmonton's power play.
Darnell Nurse off the draw. Ryan McLeod taken away. Markstrom up the right-hand side. Braden Pahal nearly gave it away to Corey Perry. Got it back. Shoveled up the boards. Center ice, Kuzmenko in over the line, chipped toward the net, and swept into the corner. Loose, Martin Pospisil got it back, gave it up, quick shot, save Pickard. That time denying Kadri. 11 goals in 22 career games against Edmonton, and a great chance in the left circle. Stopped by Pickard, and he was able to cover the rebound before Pospisil could make contact with it. And Calvin Pickard continues to be one of the primary reasons why Edmonton remains in front by a score of 2-1 right now. Connor Brown's goal early in the second, the difference. Depth, special teams, and goaltending. Carrying the night thus far, Derek Ryan wins the faceoff against Connor Zary. Kulak up the left-hand side, and it's tossed in by Matthias Janmark. Gathered by Uyghur. Hard up, but not out Miramonov. And taking control will be A.J. Greer. He'll drop it off. Miramonov, right-hand side for Dryden Hunt. A lot of journeymen dotting the playing roster for the Calgary Flames tonight, but they're playing hard. Connor Zary, well, the puck drifting just out of his reach as he enters the offensive zone. Miramonov ran into the referee. Desharnais forechecked by Zary. Another turnover by Edmonton. This one off the tape of Fogle. Dryden Hunt across to Uyghur. Wrist shot missed. Rebound. Miramonov battling for it. Desharnais had it. Got it to Derek Ryan. Fogle this time makes certain of a clear. The Oilers, I'd concur with Bob. They look like a tired group tonight. Seeing some of the fatigue-related mistakes that were spotted last night in Colorado's game. Now look at this line. McDavid between Adam Henrique and Zach Hyman, who took one off the left ankle in the second period, was able to shake it off, and he's okay. Just a stinger. Rasmus Anderson up the middle. Blake Coleman. And now I think Chris Knobloch has the blender out, trying to ignite his team a little bit here in the third period. McDavid a steal, a dish, Enrique shot, and a stick save made by Jacob Markstrom as that puck flies out of play.
3-1-4 tonight so far for Dylan Holloway down on the farm.
4 minutes gone by, third period. The Oilers with an opportunity to draw closer in the Pacific. And at last report, it seemed like the Canucks were in desperate straits. They've now crawled within 4-2 midway through the third period. Edmonton win, a Vancouver loss, and the deficit is 3 in the Pacific, and the Oilers have a game in hand and a head-to-head. Draisaitl wins the face-off, but we're going to do it again to the right of Jacob Markstrom. Draisaitl is centering Connor Brown and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins right now, as Chris Knobloch
is looking to jumpstart some things.
Is searching for the right combo. Draisaitl moved out of the circle, replaced by Nugent-Hopkins, wins the face-off against Michael Backlund. They've been going at it for a decade and a half. Shot by Draisaitl sent wide, rebound cleared up to Backlund, and he's able to nudge it ahead for Sharon Govich. That was close to being offside. Nugent-Hopkins cancels it out by lifting back to center. Uyghur, under pressure from Draisaitl, got it to Blake Coleman. Backlund threw it across, and here's Miramonov, a shot rifled off the pads of Pickard. Another save for Pickard, his 30th of the evening. Michael Backlund on the puck for Calgary. Controlling and dishing. Sharon Govich backing off. I mentioned Edmonton. All but Corey Perry has played at least 60 games this year for Calgary. Only 8 of 18 skaters. Nugent-Hopkins a steal. Odd man rush. Connor Brown right circle. Forced out wide. And Miramonov went down to deny any sort of realistic scoring option. Nugent-Hopkins back behind the net. Brown tried to put it in front, and that was lobbed by Miramonov. Snagged by Matthias Ekholm. Cross ice to Bouchard. Snapped it over. Evander Kane shot. That was fought off by Markstrom. Good chance for Evander Kane. And now McLeod sees his pass go off a referee's skate. McLeod will send it in deep. This time the referee fell down. Markovic coming up with it is Miramonov down the middle of the ice. He's got Pospisil. Shot sharp angle. And that's squeezed by Pickard. Save number 31. And Edmonton's lead remains 2-1, 14-18. This is a plodding sort of game, Bob, where you're going to park it, win or lose, immediately thereafter. It'll feel a lot better, though, if you walk out of here with 2 points.
Yeah, no question. And just a 3-on-1, and Connor Brown overhandles the puck. He's just got to make a quick play back.
Derek Ryan between Fogle and Janmark now. And Ryan wins another faceoff against Nazem Kadri. Vinny Desharnais lumbers up the right-hand side. He'll get it in deep. It was tipped by a Calgary player, so no icing. Pahal under Token pressure up to Dennis Gilbert. Kuzmenko thought he was slashed. Did he get the call? I think he did. Or are they going to say embellishment? Vinny Desharnais knocked the stick out of the hands. Let's see what the call is. I think Desharnais going.
The amount of stick infraction calls that the Oilers have taken in this game have been disappointing.
Now, is that the sign of fatigue, though?
Well,
where they're kind of reaching, lunging, and that's where you get the stick.
It's one way to look at it. Now an important kill here.
Fifth power play for Calgary. Flames won for their previous 4.
And Jack, the Oilers lost momentum on their last power play.
Agreed. So now 6 minutes gone by, third period. In a game where the Flames have outshot the Oilers 32-20, another power play arrives. Kadri against Derek Ryan. This time Kadri wins the faceoff. Uyghur to Sharon Govich. Last time the Flames scored on the power play, they won the draw. Sharon Govich gives it up, gets it back from Kuzmenko. Back to Kuzmenko. Deep left corner. Sharon Govich on the half wall. Nowhere to move it. Kuzmenko behind the net. Gives it up. Sharon Govich. Kuzmenko tried to drag it in front. Poke checked away by Pickard. Kuzmenko again beneath the goal line. Kadri in front. Nurse and CC shadowing him. Uyghur up top. Now Huberdeau. Deep in the right circle. Saucered back. Uyghur. Sharon Govich. Side of the net. Kuzmenko in front. Uyghur pounds it high and wide. Rebound rattles around. Sharon Govich able to reset. Kuzmenko behind the net. Spins Sharon Govich. Kuzmenko tried to tuck it in front. Wasn't there. Huberdeau. Kadri. Centering pass. Pickard got his stick on it. Uyghur high slot. No lane. He's got 19 goals on the year. Sharon Govich has 30. Drifts down left corner. Tried to center. That was stuffed by Cece. Kuzmenko behind the net. Now Huberdeau. Likewise behind the net. One-timer. Sharon Govich scores. Game is tied. Kuzmenko served it up. And Sharon Govich has 2. Both on the power play. 31 on the year. And finally the Flames tie it.
Well, they deserve it because they've totally outplayed Edmonton as this game's gone on. What did Vince Lombardi once say? Fatigue makes cowards of us all. And the Oilers have...
Oh, Kadri got a piece.
Okay, on the deflection.
Kadri got a piece on the deflection. And so this will be Kadri's goal, his 25th and his 12th in 23 career meetings with the Oilers.
And back-to-back power play goals. The Oilers, the Calgary scored. Edmonton never really got a chance to force Calgary to work for it.
Sharon Govich and Kuzmenko with the helpers. Of course, it was Sharon Govich who teed it up.
Scored by number 91.
Just a little tick off Kadri's stick, but it helped elevate it over top of Calvin Pickard, who's played so well tonight again. Oilers get it in deep. McDavid on the ice with Hyman and Adam Henrique. Shillington gives it up. Coleman spins. Shot off the pads of Pickard. Rebound and a block shot by Bouchard. Might have saved the go-ahead goal from Michael Backlund. I'm not sure Pickard was in possession to make the save. Here's Matthias Ekholm. So Edmonton really playing with fire right now.
They thought it was going to be easy at 2-0, Jack, and a real poor penalty from Evander Kane flipped the switch in this game.
Brown punched it forward. Uyghur could not move it out. Brown gives it up. Kulak shot disappears into heavy traffic. Uyghur to Connor Zary up the middle. Reaching forward is Greer. Taps it forward, and Pickard is able to lay off the boards. Leon Draisaitl through the wickets of Nugent Hopkins. Now takes a pass from Kulak. It's Draisaitl trying to pull his way toward the Calgary net. Can't get there. Uyghur will get it back from Miramonov. The outlet to A.J. Greer. Flames crowd making themselves heard for one of the few times tonight. 19,000 plus at the Saddledome. Game tied at 2. Hanging in the balance, 11 minutes to go. Zary reversed behind his own net. Now Kadri. Stood up by Nurse. Nudged ahead for Evander Kane. Here comes Corey Perry. Driving in right-hand side. Perry to McLeod. Perry was taken down. No penalty was called. Kuzmenko came up with it and laid it ahead for Pospisil. CC back defensively. Pospisil waits. Feathers one to Kadri. Punched off a stick by McLeod. Pospisil will give it back to Nazem Kadri, who just tipped home the equalizer, only to see it stolen there by Evander Kane. They'll shovel it behind the Calgary defense. It'll be Markstrom, who, remember, has lost 7 in a row against Edmonton. Kane, wraparound, save Markstrom. Batted out of midair by Pahal. Settled by Ekholm. Centering pass off the side of the net. Markstrom's last win against the Oilers, Game 1 of the 2022 playoff series. Here's Janmark, has a man in front, one-timer, and Ryan has drawn a penalty against Shillington, who tied him up. And that's not a bad penalty for Shillington to detect, because Ryan was in position to regain the lead for Edmonton. He dug in and got called at 9:52, and this will be Edmonton's 5th power play. Penalty-filled night, holding against Shillington, and with 10:08 to go, we'll take a timeout. Calgary 2, Edmonton 2. The Oilers will look to push back in front on an Atco power play on the other side. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Go.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through EdmontonsBestHotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. EdmontonsBestHotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through EdmontonsBestHotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. EdmontonsBestHotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Edmonton an opportunity on its power play. 26% on the year, 3rd in the league. 1 for 4 tonight, a 5th opportunity with 10 minutes to go and a 2-2 tie. Oilers have been outshot 34-21. Backlund wins the draw against Draisaitl, and a failed clearing effort by Weegar. So McDavid shot and a save made by Jacob Markstrom, and the Flames would be wise if they win another draw here to get it down the ice. They have had a couple of misplays trying to get it out.
Backlund's done a great job in these D-zone draws on the PK. Last 2 or 3 power plays Edmonton's had, Leon struggled to get puck possession off the draws.
They'll get another chance. Backlund, Draisaitl, linesman helped tie up for a moment Mackenzie Weegar. He fought through that traffic and was able to muscle it inside the Oiler blue line. Edmonton attacking left to right. Game tied at 2. The Oilers once led 2-0. 2 power play goals for the Flames have tied it. One by Sharangovich, one by Kadri. Bouchard, Nugent Hopkins left circle, shot deflected, and it winds up on the right half boards. Nugent Hopkins located it first. Back to Bouchard, and now McDavid left circle. Bouchard, Nugent Hopkins, Bouchard, one-timer, score! Evan Bouchard, 17th of the year, gives Edmonton a 3-2 lead. Assists to Nugent Hopkins and McDavid.
Well, that's a C&I blast from Evan Bouchard. Net front presence from Zach Hyman. Did Hyman get a piece of the deflection? His stick was there. I don't think so.
If anything, it might have gone off Kevin Rooney.
It definitely picked up something on the way.
I think it might have caught a piece of Kevin Rooney. Time 10:36. The fourth power play goal of the game, 2 for each side. And again, I go back to that Connor Brown goal. 5-on-5 for the fourth line is the difference in the game right now. Bouchard 17th. Nugent Hopkins and McDavid, who now has 99 assists. I think they're checking to make sure this puck wasn't played with a high stick, but to my way of thinking, it caught Rooney and not Hyman.
Well,
glanced off Rooney's left shoulder. Hyman reached.
Never touched Hyman.
I don't think so. Now, even if it did touch Hyman, I'm not sure it's with a high stick. And they're going to review this.
Well, with Zach Hyman's luck, because he's always around the net. Here's a call.
To review the call, the arbiter confirmed there was no high sticking on the play.
There you go.
This is a good goal.
Yeah, no high stick. It went off Rooney. And Bouchard is 17th as the go-ahead goal, 3-2 Edmonton. And again, McDavid now 1 shy of the century mark in assists. Face-off win for Adam Henrique, now playing center between Janmark and Connor Brown. Oilers shovel it in. Markstrom up the left-hand side. Rooney from the slot went out to challenge Bob and just got a piece.
Yep.
And not the piece he wanted. CC will dump it back in for the Oilers after a Calgary turnover at center. Dennis Gilbert up the boards, not out. Connor Brown able to choke that one off and wind it around for Darnell Nurse. Loose in front. Gilbert. The chip by Kadri executed and sent back in by the Oilers. And Brown just got flattened by Pahal.
That's like interference to me, Jack.
Shot in by Kane. And the Flames right now having trouble just getting it over center ice. 8.5 to go in the hockey game. Edmonton has never trailed. Calgary tied it up, but briefly. Here's Desharnais. Turned over. Huberdeau tried to swing it ahead for Connor Zary. Flames have dropped 7 of 8, 3 of their last 4 at home, 25th in the league standings. Edmonton will move within 3 points of the Pacific Division lead with a game in hand and a head-to-head. If they get a win tonight, LA now up 5-2 in the final 7 minutes. And the Canucks struggling mightily since Thatcher Demko went down. Connor Zary in from the left-hand side for Calgary. Winds it along. Vinny Desharnais up the boards. Not out. Shot from the point by Miramonov. Never reached Calvin Pickard. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will scoot up through center and lift it toward the Calgary net. Markstrom set it level for Weegar. He missed Coleman, and this will be icing against Calgary with 7:29 on the game clock. 3-2 Edmonton. The power play again comes through in the clutch. So often we talk about it, Bob. Not only is it overall one of the best power plays in the history of the league, but it seems to come through in the clutch time and time again.
Well, it's a 5-year run that we haven't seen in the league in 30-plus years, over 25%.
But the clutch aspect of it for me is what separates it. Just seems like, you know, in a game like this where you haven't been very good, you somehow come up with a couple of clutch ones on the power play and maybe you escape. Oilers are 7 minutes away from doing exactly that. Draisaitl to Matthias Ekholm. Wound around. Edmonton will get a couple of days off. Go to work on practice at the beginning of the week in preparation for Vegas. And now Nugent-Hopkins kept his feet moving and was tripped up by Connor Zary. And that'll be another penalty against the Flames. And now all of a sudden the Oilers in position to take complete command of this game with 7 minutes to go in the third. If its power play can convert again, it'd be a 2-goal lead in the latter stages of period 3. We'll have it for you live from the Saddledome when we come back. Edmonton 3, Calgary 2. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Every time the Oilers play, you win. Because for $4.95, you can grab a KFC Big Crunch sandwich every Oilers game day. That's right. For only $4.95, you can bite into a KFC sandwich filled with a crispy seasoned chicken breast and topped with lettuce and mayo anytime the Oilers hit the ice. KFC, it's finger-licking good. Offer only redeemable in restaurant at participating KFC locations. Other conditions may apply.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit rogers.com/5G. That's rogers.com/5G.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
All right, a chance to perhaps put this game to rest as Edmonton back on the power play with 7 minutes to go. The Oilers just took the lead, or regained the lead, I should say, with Bouchard scoring on the power play. Earlier, Leon Draisaitl scored his 40th on the power play. Calgary has 2. Connor Brown, the only 5-on-5 goal in this game. McDavid will take the face-off. This time it's Draisaitl and Hyman in the slot as Draisaitl's had a tough night in the circle. But Calgary's able to come up with it off the draw. Uyghur will turn and reverse hard up the right-hand glass, and it's out. Bouchard back to collect.
Backlund's had a great game in the circle on the PK.
Bouchard dishing off to the on-rushing Connor McDavid. The Oiler power play looking to put the game out of reach. Here's McDavid through Uyghur. Shot on net and a save made by Markstrom. And Anderson eventually soccered it back into Markstrom's pads. He'll cover with 1:33 left on the Atco power play, which is converted twice tonight for Edmonton, including the go-ahead goal just a few minutes ago. Now, Draisaitl will take the face-off on a strong side to Markstrom's left. McDavid behind him. Hyman in the slot. Bouchard up top near the left circle. Off the draw, another face-off win for Calgary. Uyghur, couple of chances for Rooney to muscle it outside, and he did not get it out. Rooney was still in his zone when that puck went into the Calgary bench. And so the face-off will go to Markstrom's right. And Bouchard and Anderson jawing at one another. 6:25 to play in the third. Draisaitl again. Face-off against Backlund. As Bob said, has been his nemesis on the man advantage. This time he wins it cleanly back to Bouchard. High slot. Nugent Hopkins curled it back to Bouchard. Over to Connor McDavid. Saucered back to Bouchard. Remember, McDavid poised for maybe a 100th assist. And now a penalty whistled against Edmonton. Was it Hyman down low?
No, it was Draisaitl slash Anderson's hand, and Anderson sold it, went straight down. And that's what Leon's saying. He sold it.
And
it's enough.
Markovic calls it. We've had 6 power plays each side. Calgary's 6th will be, Anderson actually jumped in the air before landing on that slash. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's...
So, in any event, 4-on-4 hockey for the next minute 11, and then Calgary will be an abbreviated power play. Yeah, I mean, Anderson... Look, it was a slash, but Anderson literally leapt in the air before landing on the ice. He went up rather than down. Pospisil against Brian McLeod, who won it cleanly.
Fingermar Bergman was still alive. He'd be trying to get him to a Swedish film job.
To Henrique, jumping up. Speaking of Swedish film, Ekholm denied on a slap shot off the rush. Shillington darting down the left-hand side. Pospisil back behind the net. Adam Henrique first on the puck, and then he was low-bridged. Was there a penalty, or
no,
it was whistled down?
But there should be a penalty. That's a trip. How's that not a penalty?
I didn't see an official's arm go up in the air. I saw that Frederick Lequier blew the action to a halt to protect Henrique. But I did not see an actual penalty come to fruition, and I don't think there will be. We'll come back. It looks like a neutral zone faceoff with 5:47 to go in the third period on a strange night at the Saddledome. Edmonton somehow has scraped out a 3-2 lead. We'll have the final 5:47 in regulation after this. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Become a Win House volunteer today. With your help, Win House can create positive change and support those affected by gender-based violence. Whether you're helping in office, at an event, or in the community, your support makes all the difference. Join Win House in building a safer, stronger community. Visit winhouse.org today to learn more about volunteer opportunities and how you can get involved. Win House, serving the community for over 55 years.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge presented by Betway.net is back. And now it's time to take your shot. Face off against family and friends. And take aim at predicting this year's playoffs. Whether you're pulling for the Panthers, going big on the Blue Shirts, or seeing stars all the way, who do you think hoists the cup this year? Sign up today for a chance to win exclusive prizes at NHL.com/bracket. All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Final 5:47 of regulation on deck. In a 4-on-4, you've got Henrique, McDavid, Ekholm, and Bouchard. Face-off win for Henrique at center. Bouchard lays it off to Ekholm. Calgary power play in the next 40 seconds. McDavid driving down the right-hand side. Has 2 assists tonight. Moves it for Evan Bouchard. 130 points in back-to-back years. He becomes the 7th player in the history of the league to do that. In terms of 130 back-to-back. Just new levels, it seems, every year for the captain. His next assist will be 100. 5 1/4 to go, third period. Blake Coleman will move it. Nazem Kadri ran into traffic in the form of Adam Henrique. Trapped in the corner. Ekholm able to reverse safely out. And now Calgary to the power play. Henrique will come off. You get Nurse, Janmark, Ceci, and Brown out there. Nazem Kadri driving down the middle. Moves it to Huberdeau over the line. Sauce it across to Sharon Govich with a goal and an assist tonight. Kuzmenko, who's assisted on both. Huberdeau trapped. Loose puck. Sharon Govich spilled it back to Uyghur. Sharon Govich left circle. Huberdeau snapped it in front. Intercepted by Brown. Tried to saucer it ahead for Janmark for a shorthanded chance. That was broken up. Sharon Govich to Kuzmenko. Centering pass. Kadri could not get it to his stick. And it was cleared by Brown. This time wasn't worried about creating a chance. And that'll do it for the abbreviated Calgary power play. Huberdeau walks in. Cross ice 5-on-5. Intercepted by Janmark. Draisaitl with McLeod. Tried to tuck it around Shillington. Nothing doing. Shillington wrestled to the ice. McLeod, centering pass. Backhander to save on Warren Fogle by Jacob Markstrom, who is 3:45 away from losing his 8th straight to Edmonton. Warren Fogle will dump it in. Nearly turned over. Zari worked it free. Dryden Hunt snapped it ahead for Rasmus Andersson. Picked off by Draisaitl at center. He'll take a skate into his own zone for a reset. Cross ice delivered to Warren Fogle. On his backhand, Fogle turns, tries to center off the skates of Nugent-Hopkins. Now Hyman onto the ice. Calgary under control. Backlund from deep in his own end brings it up to center. Right to left, over the line. Backlund tried to center. That was completely snuffed out by Derek Ryan, turned over by Sharon Govich, and now Hyman and McDavid up the center. McDavid makes the smart play, soft chip into the corner. Miramonov scoots it up the wall for Blake Coleman, and it's out to Backlund. He tried to go lateral again, broken up. Here's Connor McDavid down the middle. Quick shot, snapped it over the net. Came up off the glass. The Flames have been guilty of making those lateral feeds and feeding Edmonton's transition game. Rasmus Anderson, right-hand side. Reaching center, Shillington went down, Draisaitl and Connor Brown. Draisaitl centers, Brown denied, point blank by Markstrom. He's not sure where the puck is. It's trapped under his equipment, and now you've got Pospisil, Brown, Anderson, even Draisaitl joining the fray. Nurse and Ceci will remain above the circles to keep the face-off inside the Calgary end. 2:26 to go, 3-2 Edmonton.
Well, there was a malfunction at the junction. Two Flames fans, to paraphrase the late, great Ed Whalen, did the play-by-play for the Flames for a number of years. And
well, not fans, actual players.
Yes. Yes, malfunction at the junction. Two players collided, and the Oilers had a chance.
Markstrom with one of his best stops of the night. In fact, Edmonton hasn't given up a shot here in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Flames have been stuck on 35. Oilers with 26. Calvin Pickard, 33 saves.
This one's been a ring-a-ding-dong dandy. It's another famous Ed Whalen.
I saw that on one of the social media channels between periods.
And by the way, Jack, tonight we're going to party, and you're not invited. That was another one. You know that.
What's the reference?
Ed Whalen and J.R. Foley, Stampede Wrestling. Since we're here in Calgary.
I was not privy to that particular wrestling show.
It was special.
Fogle against Miramonov. Grabbed by Nazem Kadri. We'll keep an eye on Markstrom as we approach 2 minutes left on the clock. Nice backtrack by Fogle to strip the puck and feed Ceci, and then Fogle was able to dump it back in. Mackenzie Weegar. Right wing lead pass for Kuzmenko, who just reached for it. I don't know why that isn't icing, but they waved it off. Nurse to Ceci. That was strange. Ceci up the right-hand side. McLeod will dump it in, and the Oilers will change. With 1:50 to go, here come the Flames right to left. Kadri kicks it to his backhand onto Pospisil. Over the line, whiffed on an attempted wrist shot. Now Ekholm jammed it up the boards. Markstrom was still in the pipes. Are they going to call this icing? They are, with 1:37 to play. And now the Flames, if they so choose, can take a timeout. Trailing 3-2 with 1:37 to go. Markstrom is looking toward the bench. There's been no indication yet as from Ryan Huska as to whether he should depart in favor of the extra attacker. Now I think he's going to. So here we go. 6-on-5. Face off to Pickard's right-hand side. Draisaitl's going to take the D-zone draw. With them, Derek Ryan, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Vinny Desharnais, and Matthias Ekholm. Kadri against Draisaitl, who won the face-off. When he has to, Draisaitl's as good as any. Huberdeau's centering pass broken up by Desharnais. Ekholm didn't get enough on the clear. It's Mackenzie Weegar around Ryan to Kadri. Shot. That was tipped away by Vinny Desharnais. Ekholm will snap it around the boards. Weegar didn't make a play on the puck. Ryan will come off, replaced by Matthias Janmark. Weegar up through center, scooped in by Kuzmenko, turned over, cleared by Desharnais. It hit the linesman.
Come on.
And landed at the feet of Sharon Govich. 1 minute to play. Battle of Alberta. Down the stretch at the Saddle Dome. In over the line, Sharon Govich. He'll dump it in. Desharnais and Ekholm close quickly. Came back in front. Swatted. Kadri swing and a miss. Still loose in the high slot. And now a race for the puck. Nugent-Hopkins has it. Can't control. Now shoots and scores. Empty netter Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And with 43 seconds to go, Edmonton finally puts it away 4-2.
Well, it wasn't pretty tonight, but they found a way, didn't they?
Even the empty netter wasn't pretty as Nugent-Hopkins struggled to get it on his stick. I think he wanted to feed Leon. Instead, he ends up taking home his 18th at 19-13. And in the proverbial ugly duckling version of the Battle of Alberta,
it was ugly.
Edmonton will prevail. 4-2, 43 seconds to go. Face-off win from McLeod, gets it back from Darnell Nurse.
Number 93, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, unassisted, empty netter.
Connor Brown to Cody Ceci. Oilers will win for the 6th straight time at the Saddledome. The 9th out of the last 11 of Battles of Alberta. And make it 3 wins to 1 this year in the season series. Here's Connor Zary. Shot left circle, save, Pickard, rebound, scooped out by McLeod. Tapped back in by Rasmus Anderson. Funneled in front, Anderson shoots, and that ended up being elevated up and out of play by Ryan McLeod. Just as importantly, the Oilers will draw within 3 points of first place in the Pacific Division, Bob. They've got a game in hand, and really 2, when you consider that one of the other games will be a head-to-head against the Vancouver Canucks a week from tonight, a game you and I will call at 8 o'clock next Saturday from Rogers Place. We got a face-off coming to Pickard's left-hand side. Evan Bouchard, the game-winning goal to give Edmonton the 3-2 lead on the power play, and one last face-off dies in the pads of Pickard, and now some leftover frustration from this game. Nurse and Pospisil among the combatants, but it matters not. Edmonton behind 34 saves from Pickard, and 2 power play goals done timelier than Bouchard's 17th, which proves to be the game winner. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with a goal and 2 assists.
Evan's going to get sick of doing radio, Jack. He's done it.
We'll get Nugent-Hopkins up here.
We'll get Nugent-Hopkins.
Yeah.
Either one works.
Yeah, we'll cancel that out. As you know, I'm not privy to your assortment of post-game guests. So if we get Nugent-Hopkins, we're getting a man with a goal and 2 assists tonight as the Oilers prevail by a count of 4-2. And Bob, I think the best thing you can say about this game is that it's over. Yes. It's 2 points in the standings. And for the Edmonton Oilers, it's another step forward toward their pursuit of their first division title in 37 years, which is the longest drought by any of the 4 major professional sports leagues. Vancouver, with a loss tonight in LA, very much has Edmonton squarely in its rearview mirror.
Yeah, there's no question. And who would have thunk that, Jack?
At 2-9-1?
Well, let's put it this way.
Or even 5-12-1?
The Vancouver Canucks at one point were 16 points up on the Edmonton Oilers when the coaching change got made. 16 points up. They're now 3 points up. And the Oilers still have a game in hand and a head-to-head. So it's there for Edmonton. Pickard was fantastic. That's all you can ask out of your goalie is what he gave them tonight. He was
12-6 in his first career win against the Calgary Flames after 4 losses earlier in his career. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will join us shortly on the post-game show as the Oilers able to scratch out a 4-2 verdict. Leon Draisaitl scored his 40th tonight. McDavid now with 99 assists. He'll finish his night with 130 points, 1 behind Nathan McKinnon, 6 behind Nikita Kucherov in his bid for a 6th scoring title. And now, Bob, I think with tonight's results, the Oilers will find themselves once again in the same situation they were last year. Very tempted to make a hard push for the Pacific Division title as Ryan Nugent-Hopkins now joins us. And Ryan, we're kind of joking upstairs in the broadcast booth. I don't know whether you feel like joking right now, but is this one where the only thing that matters ultimately is the result, no matter how you got it there? Because it wasn't pretty at times tonight.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we want to keep winning games and know that we can win games that we're not playing our best, for sure. But at the same time, we know we have better. We know we have more. So, I mean, these next 6 games here are big for kind of getting back into the groove of things. And I thought we did a great job last night, and tonight faltered a little bit in the first couple. So, obviously, at the end of the day, we'll take the 2 points, and we'll take a win in any form we can get it.
You know, you've had an incredible power play the last 5 years, right? 25+%. Hasn't happened in over 35 years in the NHL. That said, Ryan, sometimes it's when you score in the power play. And ultimately, that was the difference in tonight's game with the power play goal midway through the third.
Yeah, that's what we talk about a lot. It's about when you score. It's not about scoring when it's 5-2, 6-2. It's about the timely ones that make the difference. And I thought tonight that's what we did, and especially they get a couple on theirs. And I mean, a lot of calls, obviously both ways. So we got to be sharp and find a way to get the job done.
A final thought, Ryan, on the other result that kind of matters a bit tonight is Vancouver lost. So now you're 3 points out of the division lead with a game in hand and a head-to-head. Does that change any thinking? I mean, what does first place really mean to this club when ultimately it will be judged by how it does in the playoffs? Can you give me some insight as to what the core guys think about that?
I mean, we want to finish as high as we possibly can and get as many points as we can, and that's been our goal the whole time. And you can't worry too much about what's going on around you and with other teams. And but obviously it's something to shoot for and try and chase them down here. And yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's something that you just want to finish as high as you can, make sure that you have home ice, and go from there.
Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
That's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who looked like he was kind of wrestling a raccoon trying to get that puck level on the ice, a microcosm of the way the Oilers had to fight it a bit tonight, fight themselves, and ultimately able to power their way through to victory. But, Bob, I think when you're dealing with this talented a roster, that becomes a skill in and of itself, finding a way to win with maybe a C-plus game.
Yeah, and the other thing that's happened right now, Jack, is the Oilers have been unbelievable at home. They're 9-0-1 in their last 10 games, 25-4-2 under Chris Knobloch.
And 49-19 in those 10 games of the goal differential.
So, you know, this was always going to be a tough game in the second of a back-to-back. Calgary played well. They had a lot of desperation in their hockey game.
They just didn't have much of a roster. They competed hard.
They got a player in Sharon Govich, and Coleman's a useful middle six forward, and, you know, Kadri's a legitimate at minimum second-line center in the NHL. Backlund's a great third-line center. That D in Calgary, they're a little light in the ass on the back end. Like they don't have, they're not anywhere near as staunch as they once were. And then Markstrom cannot beat the Oilers when it matters. That's all there is to it.
He can't beat the. You can just drop off those last three words. He cannot beat the Oilers.
Well, let me ask you a question. Have we seen the last of Jacob Markstrom as a Calgary Flame? Was this the last?
I think there's going to be some talks over the summer to see if there's a move available. Now, he was not happy with how Calgary handled that situation going into the trade deadline. He's now dropped 5 of 6, so it's been a distraction. It's ultimately, something that, may have affected his play as of late. But what I would tell you is, if this was a big start for him moving forward in the Battle of Alberta, it's not going to do anything to help his confidence. He's largely been sheltered from the Oilers during the last 2 regular seasons after being shellacked in the 22 playoffs. And, I think if you're Calgary and you do end up playing meaningful games over the next 2 years and he's still under contract, I don't see how you can play him head-to-head against Edmonton. He wasn't poor tonight, but he played just well enough to lose.
Jack, I got to tell you,
23 of 26.
I watch a lot of American Hockey League games, and the kid they have coming, Dustin Wolf, he's had 920 to 935 for the last 3 years in the AHL.
He's athletic, but he's little.
He's out of when you
fundamentals are a little lacking.
He's kind of all. He
takes himself out of position.
He almost
sometimes.
looks like Mike Palmentier, except a guy obviously that's
a guy I grew up watching on a snowy CBC channel out of London, Ontario.
He's kind of diving around all over the place, and Winnipeg just outweighted him. If that's their goalie of the future, I don't know. This is going to be interesting. They got a lot of Russian players here.
They've got 8 picks in the first 4 rounds of the draft upcoming, but you're talking about futures. And for Calgary, as you know, they've never drafted high enough to have a guy who can make an impact right away, and they're not going to do it this year.
One of the highest picks they've ever had was Sean Monahan. They took him 6th, and he had 7 20-goal seasons for them. So
they've drafted in the top 5 once in 50 years, and never in the top 3.
Well, and even you can make an argument here. Did ownership get involved in the decision not to trade Markstrom at the deadline? We believe that to be the case, that there was an agreement in place with New Jersey. New Jersey was not happy with how it ended. We believe it had to do something with retained money, and New Jersey went and got a couple different goaltenders as a result to see them through. Bottom line, Edmonton, the Oilers are done. They're 3-1 on the year against the Flames. It's Vegas up next. It's a massive step up in weight class for the Oilers, but they're back at home and they're going to be rested. Go be ready for that game and go get that game.
Well, they'll have 3 days off. Tomorrow will be off for certain. And then, I would imagine Chris Knobloch, after viewing tonight, Bob, we might see a relatively light practice one of Monday or Tuesday. I think he's dealing with a bit of a tired squad. And he also knows that not only is Vegas looming and 3 home games in 4 nights, but we're talking about 6 games in 9 days to finish the regular season. If Edmonton's able to push its way through and win the division for the first time since 1987. Now with a record of 47-24-5, the Oilers get it done tonight. 4-2. Calvin Pickard, 12-6 on the year. He stopped 34 of 36, and his albatross, that 0-4 record against Calgary, now a distant memory. Jacob Markstrom has lost 8 in a row head-to-head against the Edmonton Oilers, 5 of 6 overall. His record drops to 23-21-2, as we talked about. Turned aside 23 of 26 in defeat tonight. The Flames have lost 8 of 9 to tumble completely out of contention. They're now 34-37-5 in what is a second consecutive loss season after a trip to the second round of the playoffs, where they were beaten by Edmonton in 5 games in the spring of 2022. And now, for Oiler fans, a chance to look forward to a couple of titanic tilts next week in the Pacific Division. We'll start it off with Wednesday's matchup against the Vegas Golden Knights. That'll be 6:30 right here on the Oilers Radio Network. Cam Moon will have the call. Until then, for Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown, this is Jack Michaels saying good night from Calgary's Saddledome. The final score on the Battle of Alberta, or Calgary 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers Postgame Show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers Postgame Show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
Bouchard, Nugent Hopkins, left circle, shot deflected, and it winds up on the right half boards. Nugent Hopkins located it first. Back to Bouchard, and now McDavid left circle. Bouchard, Nugent Hopkins, Bouchard, one-timer, score! Evan Bouchard, 17th of the year, gives Edmonton a 3-2 lead. Assists to Nugent Hopkins and McDavid.
Well, that's a C&I blast from Evan Bouchard. The Century Casino Highlight Zone, all in, all games, all season. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport at Century Mile. Welcome to the Winner's Zone. The Oilers defeat the Calgary Flames 4-2. Bouchard with the GWG on the PP. This is the Rogers Postgame Show, the Oilers Radio Network.
Get your tickets now at Edmonton Oilers.
At the Chop Leaf, greens for lunch gets you moving. Now you can shake it. Made with fresh greens and vegetables, choose from 9 delicious, oh-so-shakeable salads. Or try it as a wrap or rice bowl. So however you shake it, you'll enjoy something you can feel good about. Visit the Chop Leaf near you or order online today to enjoy some freshness on the go.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Godry did not get it out, but Pospisil did. Andrei Kuzmenko down the middle. He's been hot lately. Dishes off. Then back to the point. Pospisil waiting out Pickard and somehow tucked it wide. He had Pickard down and out and didn't finish the play.
Calvin Pickard with the save of the game, brought to you by Access Insurance, Alberta Oilfield, and construction contractors can count on huge saves when they need it the most. Visit AccessInsuranceGroup.com. Bob Stauffer, along with Jack Michaels tonight. We're going to bring aboard inside the game analyst Rob Brown. Rob, Edmonton got a solid goaltending performance from Calvin Pickard, and they did enough to win.
Well, they needed a good performance. It was a game where the Calgary Flames had more energy, more emotion, more intensity, and we said before the game that I thought that the Oilers would win in a professional way, and they did. They did what they had to do, and now it's move on to the next game after getting some rest.
Okay, move on to the next game. You saw that Vancouver lost tonight in L.A. Suddenly, the Edmonton Oilers have an outside chance to get top spot in the Pacific Division, just like we all thought back in whenever it was, right? When they started the year 2-9-1.
Well, I mean, I knew it was always going to be a playoff team. They just had a bad run. It's funny. They could win the first. They'd get first in the division, and that could get them the Las Vegas Golden Knights in the first round. That's what's so funny about what's going on in the playoff race. To me, I don't care if they come first or fourth. I don't care if they're a wild card team. This is a team that can win at home. It can win on the road. They have 6 games left. Get through healthy. To me, that's all that matters.
That's our Inside the Game analyst, Rob Brown. Rob, thanks for joining us. We're going to hook up with you again on Wednesday night when Vegas comes to town. The Smart Play of the Night is brought to you by Catelli Smart Pasta with all natural ingredients. It's the smart move for your next meal. Look for the box the next time you shop. One of the differences in tonight's game, the Oilers got a goal 5-on-5 from their fourth line. Some grinding from Derek Ryan, along with Matthias Janmark, who had a strong performance, and Connor Brown with the goal. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Score big with the unmatched purity of Clearwater Vodka, the perfect companion for Oilers fans. Crafted with the pristine waters of Alberta, it's a sip of local excellence. Clearwater Vodka, where the spirit of the game meets true Alberta quality. Must be 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, and breathtaking views. Experience resort-like amenities including a full-time concierge, yoga and fitness studios, golf simulator, plus indoor and outdoor lounges for you to live your best life. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Score big with the unmatched purity of Clearwater Vodka, the perfect companion for Oilers fans. Crafted with the pristine waters of Alberta, it's a sip of local excellence. Clearwater Vodka, where the spirit of the game meets true Alberta quality. Must be 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
You're tuned in to the Rogers Postgame Show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHED, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
Desharnais and Ekholm closed quickly. Came back in front. Swatted. Calgary swing and a miss. Still loose in the high slot. And now a race for the puck. Nugent Hopkins has it. Can't control. Now shoots and scores. Empty netter Ryan Nugent Hopkins. And with 43 seconds to go, Edmonton finally puts it away 4-2.
That's the Alberta Blue Cross Insurance goal of the game. Whatever life brings, we've got the coverage you need. Visit ab.bluecross.ca. We go to Pizza 73 out of town scoreboard. Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers, will tell you the Bakersfield Condors got a 3-goal, 4-point performance from Dylan Holloway. They beat the Calgary Wranglers 5-2. Nasty third period in that game. Philip Broberg also scored one of the goals for Bako. In the National Hockey League, the Edmonton Oilers moved to within 3 points of the Vancouver Canucks. Edmonton still has a game in hand. Canucks lost 6-3 in Los Angeles. Islanders shut out the Predators 2-0. Devils 4-3 over Ottawa. Toronto doubles up the Montreal Canadiens 4-2. Columbus Blue Jackets a 6-2 win over the Flyers in a game in which defensemen scored all 6 of Columbus's goals. San Jose a 3-2 OT win over St. Louis. Jets double up the Wild 4-2. Dallas beat Edmonton handily 5-0 on Wednesday night. They got 44 shots on Chicago, and they lost 3-2. Stellar goaltending performance from Peter Mrazek. Boston Bruins win 3-2 in overtime over Florida, and the Pittsburgh Penguins hold off the Tampa Bay Lightning. Final score 5-4. 3 assists in that game for Nikita Kucherov. Connor McDavid got 2 tonight for the Oilers. He's up to 99 on the season. Edmonton beats Calgary 4-2. Oilers have not lost in Calgary since Game 1 of Round 2 of the playoff series back in 2022. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
For years now, we've been warning Edmontonians on the hazards of our stormwater facilities. While they may appear to look like still ponds, there is moving water beneath the surface, which makes the ice dangerously... The unpredictability of stormwater facilities makes them treacherously unsafe for all winter activities, even walking. So think twice. Don't go on the ice. A safety message from EPCOR.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Let's go to the Molson Cup 3 Stars, brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. Third star tonight, Calvin Pickard with 34 saves. Second star tonight, a goal and 2 assists, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. First star tonight, Yegor Sharangovich with a pair of goals. He's up to 31 on the season for the Flames. Leon Draisaitl scored his 40th. Evan Bouchard with his 17th. That was the game winner on the power play. The Rogers postgame show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Edmonton returns to action. They open up a 4-game homestand Wednesday night against the Vegas Golden Knights. Edmonton's 9-0-1 in their last 10 games at home. For my play-by-play partners this season, Jack Michaels, who called tonight's game, Cam Moon, who's got the call on Wednesday, Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins, Brendan Escott, studio producers this season, Angie Quinnell at the helm tonight, and Kellen Kennedy, long-time engineer. He's done every one of our games in Calgary for the last 16 seasons. John Bruns. Bob Stauffer saying, so long, everybody. Oilers beat the Flames 4-2. And top spot in the Pacific Division within 3 points of Vancouver.
Postgame show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Portions of this exclusive broadcast are brought to you by Ford.